Live from the Toad Hop Network studios
in Hollywood.
This
is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
A place of our own without a lot of parents bearing down our backs.
radio worth watching.
Ah, that's right. The old familiar songs. Feels like we were just here a couple days ago. That's because we were. Right? Feels like about
hours.
Was it hours? It felt like weeks. I do not sound like Tom Waits anymore, which is good. But it is the Schmoes Know podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for joining us on this lovely, lovely Thursday night. Now, joining me to my right is not the Olive Garden loving, sports referencing Mark Ellis. It is the geeky, fantastic Kenny Napzok. How are you, pal?
I prefer the Red Robin loving pro wrestling mentioning.
Well, that's a very. I like that. You know, well, the reason I'm not bringing up the wrestling yet, is because we're going to be bringing up some wrestling stuff later on with our very special guest that we have on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you're very excited about that.
Very excited. I've been waiting 14 years to ask her this question about wrestling.
Let's keep it to wrestling, okay? Don't ask her to marry you. Don't do any of that stuff.
I feel
what
like
am I shoesy pants?
That's true.
I just feel like today is going to get kind of uncomfortable. You guys make fun of me every time I talk anything about a hot guy, and tonight everyone's like, you're in your suit.
Yeah, what am I? I'm the same.
You put on some cologne.
I did? I always have cologne on.
You're the one that smells like locker room.
No, I always have cologne on. But the thing is, too, but the difference is, nice try here, because Kenny and I will still, as we're interviewing, so, Maria, what do you think of this? As opposed to, Sean, blah, 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 blah,
I was fine on camera. And let's talk about this.
It
wasn't because I thought he was, like, super high.
It's because he's fucking Samwise. Yeah, I get it.
And I was fine.
You're
on the radio.
I want to remember
afterwards.
this moment.
Right.
When Khal Drago comes on the show.
Oh, speaking of which, not that we got him on the show, but Tweet a Celebrity almost is working, and this is what
I like. There's that. They're really
almost. Yeah, almost. We did Tweet a Celebrity a couple of weeks ago, and Jason Momoa was the target, and he wrote back to somebody, and the name escapes me. And if you're out there listening, please tweet me and tell me I'm a moron, and I will read your tweet. And he wrote back. All he wrote was, Well. I don't know what that means.
It means that he wants to be my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading that too.
That's what I thought too. Okay.
He wants to be the stallion that mounts your world. I guess,
well, look at you dirty filth.
When did you turn into Katie Sackhoff?
This is Katie Sackhoff. She has morphed into Matthew Perry sober. All right, so we are going to. There's a lot of stuff
just going
today.
for it.
There's a lot of stuff tonight. It's going to be a really fun show. Kenny, I'm super happy to have you in the truck.
Yeah, thank you.
In the seat tonight. It's going to be fun. We do have the lovely and talented Maria Menounos, who's going to be joining us around 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
Talk about her new movie, The Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. And we'll also ask her some wrestling questions. And it's going to be a cool show. We have some news to get to and all that, but we need Schmoeville at Schmoes Know. Facebook.com/Schmoes Know. There's a couple things tonight. We're going to be giving away because of Warner Brothers are giving away 2 DVDs of the classic cartoon Tom and Jerry.
I love that.
Which is so cool.
I used to, Saturday mornings were spent watching that and after school sometimes.
Yeah, and we're going to do one, like real quick. I want to have, we'll get one right off the bat here. I want to do it with Schmoeville. So you can call in at 323-622-8623 to win the first Tom and Jerry. There is going to be a trivia question right now. So, and it's a multiple choice. How did Mark and I meet Tiffany Smith?
Ooh.
Was it at A, Comic-Con, B, an audition for a movie show, C, supermarket, 4, I'm changing it up, D, a dog show. That's it. Out of those,
what were they?
The dog show.
You were in Banana
Supermarket,
Joe's fan club?
Comic-Con, audition for a movie show.
Okay.
All right. So, again, 323-622-8623. All right. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Blake.
Blake, for a chance to win the DVD, what do you think the answer is?
Oh, shit. I accidentally put it on silent.
All right.
Computer, I might.
All right, no problem. Well, Blake, call back in a little bit. We're gonna do the contest real quick, and you call back in a little bit. We'll talk about some other stuff as well. All right, so let's try here. All right, hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got? Sweet.
Well, we're lighting it up tonight.
I know. Right off the bat.
We all know the real answer is bus station.
All right.
But let's.
Hey, we are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hello, this is Patrick Hogue.
Patrick, you
Patrick.
blew it. You blew it with Shoesy Pants last week. What do you think? Can you answer the question here? What is the answer?
All right, I'm here to redeem myself. I'm gonna guess Comic-Con.
That is incorrect.
That's a good guess.
All right, sorry, Patrick. Patrick, you and Shoesy Pants on the losing block once again. Okay. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Drake in Vegas.
Hey, Drake in Vegas, my man. What answer do you have? How do we meet for the Tom and Jerry DVD?
As much as Dog Show sounds so oddly perfect, I'm gonna go with Market.
That is incorrect. Wow. Sorry, Drake. I hung up on you by accident, but that is incorrect. So now there's only 2 more answers on the board.
Guys, you got a 50-50
this is
shot
it.
here.
You got to again. So hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Gustav.
Who is this? Gustav?
Gustav.
All right. So what? I still didn't hear it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie.
You tried so hard.
I tried, man. I gave it a shot. Well, let him answer, then we'll get his name. Maybe he got it. Hold on. All right. So right now we call him Gustav, and he can tell us his real name after. All right, Gustav. So what's the answer?
Dog Show.
Fucking A, no. I'm sorry. Wow.
Okay.
So
I just think
sorry,
it's
man.
really funny.
Gustav, I apologize.
I've never talked about dogs once on this show.
This is so all someone
and
has to say.
people just think I'm hanging
I
out
know.
at the supermarket being like, hey, dude,
all
talk
right,
to
so,
me.
hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Leanne from New Jersey.
Leanne from New Jersey. What is the answer?
Gee, the only one that wasn't said.
Which is?
Oh, shit.
No. Wait, what is it?
I can't figure. What did you say? What were the
No.
choices?
You got
Dog Show, the Market. It was the audition thing.
All right,
The
yes.
movie
All right,
thing.
Leanne, you win the DVD. We will send you the Tom and Jerry Classic
Wow,
DVD.
that was rough.
Thank you so much, Leanne. And as always, check out Leanne. It's at LALECOUTER. She has the best Photoshop pictures you can possibly see. Follow her on Twitter. Thanks, Leanne.
All right, see ya.
All right, so Leanne wins it. Okay, that was pretty fun, though. So, and Gustav, I apologize for not knowing your name.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kenny, it is time now. What's wrong?
I need Mark Riley to come over here.
Okay.
Those are some of our guests wandering the hallways. Could someone go get them? Just put them in the conference room. Stash them away. Stow them.
Okay. So, all right, guys. Here
What happens when the producer is on air this time?
Yeah, I know. So, okay, we're about to do the news here. We're going to talk about some news stories. We're ready to get this show rolling. Kenny, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Let's do it. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines, sponsored by Imperial Beer. Hooray for Hollywood! The 85th Annual Academy Awards ceremony went off without much of a hitch, unlike
Wait,
that
was
line.
this weekend?
Tommy Lee Jones was even reported to have smiled once. Seth MacFarlane sang about boobs, and Oscars were handed out to such big winners as Ben Affleck's Dazed and Confused, Ang Lee's directing in The Hulk, and America, who now has a new sweetheart in Jennifer Lawrence. Outside of MacFarlane's song, there wasn't much controversy unless you count the Academy admitting Argo was the first movie ever to direct itself, J-Law tripping on the way to the collecting an award for messing up the Eagles' juju, and Anne Hathaway being Anne Hathaway. Also, it was hard to walk across the street to the Buffalo Wild Wings. MacFarlane did a serviceable job as host, according to the world's leading misogynist, and remained far less stoned than James Franco. But the Family Guy Grand Poobah has announced that he will not be hosting again, saying no way. A lot of fun to have done it, though. Tina Fey has already said no way as well, leaving us with no choice but to have the Oscars hosted by a robot with no sense of humor. The Coen brothers are set to rewrite the script for the biopic Unbroken, based on the book of the same name. This came after the film's new director convinced them to do it. The director, Angelina Jolie, proving she is much more than a pretty face and a mother of 42 children. Unbroken is about Lou Zamperini, a 1936 Olympian who fought in World War II. In 1943, his Air Force plane went down, and Zamperini survived on an island for 47 days during sharks, aerial attacks, and starvation. He also won 6 immunity challenges and fought off the Nazis with nothing more than Jeff Probst. Director Craig Brewer, former guest and friend of the Schmoes Know podcast, has reportedly signed on to develop and direct Gangster Princesses of Beverly Hills.
Like that.
Based on a Rolling Stone article that focused on socialite drug baron Lizette Lee. The project is set up at Paramount and looks to be a return to the grittier fare of Brewer's earlier work. Then again, after you executive produce a Katy Perry concert movie, directing a sequel to the Oogie Loves is considered going darker. Finally, Chris Cooper has joined the cast of Amazing Spider-Man 2. He is set to play Norman Osborn. However, it is too soon to tell if he'll be playing Green Goblin as well in this particular film. The villain Osborn becomes. The role was, of course, last played by Willem Dafoe, who gave you the sense that he didn't take the Goblin outfit off at the end of shooting. Amazing Spider-Man 2 has already an impressive lineup of villains with Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, Jamie Foxx as Electro, and Paul Giamatti as Rhino, because nothing poses a bigger threat to the young athletic Spider-Man than Paul Giamatti sweating. I'm Ken Napzok, and those were your Schmoes Know headlines, brought to you by Imperial Beer, a Costa Rican lager from N.A. Breweries.
Very nice, Kenny. As always. Now, I know that Schmoville is probably wondering, well, wait a minute, where's the Gary Oldman story? That just broke very recently. Yeah, just recently. So Kenny was, that's the thing, is you got to make sure, if you guys don't watch Kenny's pre-show thing, he works on the news, it's on Schmo Plus, it's really funny, and to look at the views right now, a lot of you guys aren't watching it, so check it out.
Well, based on my other channel, I'm getting like quadruple the views.
It's really funny. I enjoy watching it. It's really
one
funny.
of the highest rated videos currently on Schmo Plus is me and Tiffany Smith singing Wilson Phillips in a car.
It's true.
So,
it's really funny.
Well,
who knows what works.
I'm so shocked Mike Beatrice didn't hang himself in that car.
He tried to.
Yeah,
because it was good. That's why he didn't hang
it was
himself.
great. It was so good. I loved it. Okay, so let's get to the Gary Oldman story. We got Gary Oldman in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. All right, so we have this is a great story. I like that this casting. So the casting for this movie so far with Jason Clarke and Gary Oldman, they're doing it right. Here's my thing, Josh, the intern, stick your mug in that mic because I know you have a similar. Yeah. So here's my thing, and I know that you and I share the same opinion here, and I don't know if Kenny and Tiffany are on the same page. Gary Oldman, I would like to see him not play a villain in this one. I think that it's too cliche for him to play a villain. I loved him at the as the commissioner role.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. He just played a hero kind of in the last go around.
He played a hero in Azkaban as well, and in
I get it, and a villain in The Fifth Element.
He's a great villain, one of the best villains of all
absolutely
time.
One of the best
I just would love to see him on the other side and not be the bad.
I mean, I think it's going to depend on who the villain is then, because if you put him up against somebody that can't play a villain as well as he can,
one of the fucking apes. That's all you need. One of the apes is the villain. That's all you need. You need that.
Only Andy Serkis, though.
Yeah, and
he can just play.
But yeah, Andy Serkis will be battling with the one from the end of the Bluebeard, whatever his name was.
So you think they brought Gary Oldman on to just
put
some balls on and do the motion?
No, I don't think that. I think they brought him on to be a villain. Sure. I'm just hoping that they didn't, because I would much rather see him play. It's just you're expecting it now for him to be the villain. So, all right, now. The other story was this Amazing Spider-Man stuff.
I'm weird about Jamie Foxx. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It just doesn't fit for me.
The funny thing with Jamie Foxx is I'm going to stop doubting, because there's something about the guy that when I just see him in interviews and stuff, I'm like, ugh, I can't stand this guy. And then every time I see him in a movie, I love his performance. I watched Collateral recently again. He's fantastic in that.
Yeah.
Django, he killed it. He's a great actor. He really is. And will he be silly in this? It all depends on the direction of Mark Webb. I know you're skeptical on that.
I made it no stranger that I was not a big fan of the first one.
Right.
But I didn't blame the acting. I thought the acting was great. I thought the cast was great. And I think this one looks even better, but I doubt the script writing and the directing, really. That's the only problem I have.
Yeah, it just depends on but the casting, unlike Apes, there's some questionable ones, and the Jamie Foxx doesn't really. I love Giamatti, I love him, but as Rhino,
I think he could do it. The guy has never failed me as far as when it comes to movies. I can't think of a movie where I was like, oh, Paul Giamatti mailed it in or didn't really fit it. I think he will morph to whatever he needs to do to make it better. And, maybe they'll do CG because Rhino's a big guy. So I think there might be some CGI work into it.
But that scares me. It's like, why not just get a big dude like The Rock or something?
Yeah, I know.
He's busy.
Yeah, or Jason Momoa. It's like get somebody huge and menacing for the Rhino, like Paul Giamatti. That's
I
sounds
feel
like you're just trying to make a movie for Tiffany.
That one, yes. But I kind of feel like they're trying to get their own cast of Avengers in this movie. Like, I feel like they're just trying to throw people in, and I feel like when you're trying to make something happen, it just never really works out that well.
Right.
Well, Chris Cooper's got announced too to play Norman Osborn,
and I like that.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. It's back and forth.
Yeah,
it's like you do one thing, and again, to say back and forth isn't fair because there's one question. Well, I guess Jamie Foxx is what you wonder.
It's not that he's a bad actor. It's that just for some reason hearing him and Spider-Man just It doesn't connect.
You
for
don't
me.
know. I mean, again,
there's a disconnect somewhere.
What I liked about it, and where you and I differ, JTI, as I call you now. Yeah,
sounds like
sounds cool.
Sounds like urinary tract
really?
infection,
No,
a UTI.
Well, once I get
if your mind happens to go in that place, as opposed to a nice abbreviation of a nice job that the young man does on the show.
Once you can't get rid
now
of
that's all.
That's basically the way it works.
Yeah, that's true. And
Even
by the way, I'm
better.
definitely going to ask Maria Menounos if she watched Piper slap you in the face. I'm just letting you know that right now. Okay, so. Overall, that's we'll see. I liked the serious tone of Mark Webb, and I think that with a tone like that going into the sequel, I think that Jamie Foxx will serve that well.
Well, one thing I love Sam Raimi did is I think he did a great job balancing the tone.
I didn't.
You watched the first Spider-Man, there's some silly moments, but that last fight with Green Goblin, that was like a brutal, gritty fight.
Oh, really? You mean at the end, before he died?
Right, in the cemetery,
really,
yeah.
right before he dies, and he goes, "Oh," and then he dies.
I'm not talking about the line. I'm talking about the fight where it's like slow motion. The dude's getting this shit.
Yeah, there was the first and second one. They're good movies.
Yeah, second one's fantastic.
It's a little slow, but they're good movies. The third one is a horrendous piece of garbage right next to Howard the Duck.
I agree. Third one's bad.
But anyway, okay, Schmoe, how about you guys? Tweet in. What do you think about the new
singing? No
singing and crying.
No
Everyone was
dancing.
crying in the third one. Emo. Ultimately, and the last, the other thing that there's a big rumor that we didn't talk about as well. We have to bring up episode 7. We do it every damn show.
Every week.
It's
Alfonso,
the episode 7 rumor.
Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón rumored to be directing episode 8.
Okay.
So how do we feel about that?
What's his body of work? Remind me.
Children of Men, Y Tu Mama Tambien, Prisoner of Azkaban.
He's got Gravity
Yes.
coming
Mama
up.
Tambien? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Star Wars just got
Sexy.
sexy.
Yeah. But then my opinion, the best Harry Potter movie is The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And if he can bring some kind of dark, gritty Empire Strikes Back middle chapter to that story, I'm on board.
And then you got Michael Arndt, who I think is writing it. No, Kasdan is writing this.
What's that? That Star Wars.
Well, and I kind of feel like it's going to go with Abrams doing the first one and then coming into the second one. I think it will go kind of like happier, like a little bit lighter with JJ, and then into this other one that can be a lot grittier and dark. Because Children of Men is really like dirty and gritty, and I loved it. I loved it.
Regardless of if he's cast or not, the fact that he's rumored to it gives me such hope because that's who they're talking to.
It's not going to be straight up Disney Happy Times.
It's not Chris
gonna be
Columbus.
No, it's not Michael Bay putting Megan Fox in Turtles. You know what I mean? It is a totally different. It's a tone that is just so.
Megan Fox as Darth Sexy.
Unbelievable.
Well, and it's even. I always bring everything back to Lord of the Rings, but I'm like, it's kind of like that. Like Fellowship was it was still dark, but it was a little bit lighter.
It was the lighter of them because everything else went darker.
And they progressively get darker, which
and
I'm
I think that's what this trilogy is going to be.
happen.
And what's also great about this, though, is that it's not like the original trilogy where it was 4, 5, 6 end. This is 7, 8, 9 with potential of 10, 11, 12, and also more side
Star
things.
Wars 20.
Yeah, there's just there's no end in sight if these movies are great. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Matt Brown.
Matt, what's up, dude? What do you got?
I have to be honest. When I first heard Quran, my mind went immediately to Y Tu Mama Tambien, and I wasn't sure. But then I thought about Children of Men, and it almost seems like a perfect follow-up to J.J. Abrams because she was mentioning Tiffany was mentioning Fellowship and Two Towers. I think just look at A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. A New Hope has a very light, hopeful kind of tone, and then Empire Strikes Back comes in. It's a very dark.
That's a great point.
Very grittier, very more serious, people may not win at the end kind of feel to it. And I think that's what Quran can do to follow up with Abrams.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I think that's a great point, Matt. Thanks for the call, as always, dude.
Well, and it's cool because when you look at it, it's that they're going to introduce us to the characters again in the first one, and we'll really get a backstory and get connected to them because there's going to be new people that we haven't seen before.
Right.
And then in the next one, then be ready for even more darker, grittier story.
Yeah, I love it. I think that they're on the right path, and I think we're good to go. What's up, Ken?
No, I'm sorry. I'm kind of distracted. We're making sure
This is how good this is how good Ken is. Ken, you can see him. The poor guy is sweating chicklets over here. He's got
sweating yet.
Yeah, not yet. Well, the air conditioner here is set to gangster freeze. It's like, but yeah,
you've never seen me on a stand-up stage, Tiffany. No. I used to leave puddles of
water. You
guys
all talk about how much everybody sweats, and I'm like, okay, don't hug me. Though
it's true.
I told you I totally did that.
That is a violation of the Schmoes Know HR sexual harassment policy.
No, can I just say, when you say stuff like that, it's like putting the bat signal out for creeps. It's like he ultimately just flies in there. It's like the shoesy pants creep signal. Guys, we are moments away from welcoming our guests today. We're very excited about our guests. And before we get to that, too, we also have one more story that you brought up, because just to bring back to our Oscar special that we had this Sunday, which was really fun. And you can check that. It's on Toad Hop right now.
And there were people, can I stop you? There were people who watched all 5.5 hours. I got some messages. Like,
after the fact.
Yeah. Like, I slugged through it. I loved it. Great. Do it again. I'm like, see you
Kenny,
next
we
year.
have entertaining people on this show. I know you don't want to admit it, but there are entertaining people that come into the studio week in, week out, and we have a fun show.
I can't disagree.
It's true.
We do, and we had a really fun show, and Tiffany brought cookies, and she changed 70 times.
Next time, I think everyone should have to change their clothes, not just the one lady.
No. Yeah, but look, this is something we didn't really get into because, it was 7 hours later, and we were all dead. Seth MacFarlane, what's the guy's been taking super heat, and like you said in your news, he bailed on it because he's probably just like, fuck this. I did it once. I don't have to do it again. I'm loaded. I'm going to do TED 2, and I'm going to laugh at all you idiots when it's basically what he's going to do.
When I do my episode of Family Guy that makes fun of all
any
this.
single person that made fun of him, he's going to kill him 10 times over. He's going to be able to wreck anybody else. And he said, by the way, idiots, I hosted your show. So he wins an egg on the face anyway.
Humor on a large national level like that is subject to a little extra look at. And we know, we did a show, not to weirdly, oddly name drop from years ago. We were at the Hollywood Improv a week before the Oscars, the year Chris Rock hosted. He dropped in on our show. He tested his monologue. Hilarious. Slayed the improv. Packed house. Everyone loved it. We were dying. We're like, he's going to do awesome. He tanked the next week on that national level.
And that's what Ellis had said on the show. And the difference is just that it's just a different. I thought Seth MacFarlane would have done a lot better because the difference is, with a club atmosphere like that with Chris Rock, you think it's just a different animal. But with MacFarlane, he's used to those big productions. The problem is, it's those old Academy farts, and you got to please everybody. And look, it's like it was. They wanted it to please the younger generation.
And the ratings for the younger generation went up.
But it didn't please the old farts. And it didn't please people who wanted to be politically correct. And look, was he boring somewhat when he tried to be hosty guy? Yeah. He was trying to conform, and it didn't work, and you smelled it.
It felt like he didn't add anything sometimes.
Which
is what I kind of bummed out about.
He couldn't do what he wanted to do all the way. And if he did, they would have hated him for it. And so,
no one has hit a home run hosting the Oscars in a long time. They've been served. I love Steve Martin. He did a good job. Not a home run since Billy Crystal, and really that was just Schmeckel on my Dougal doing funny songs.
Odds-on favorite next year has to be Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, right?
Tina's already said no way she won't do it.
Bullshit. Let's see when they start throwing the checks.
After there's no more 30 Rock and see what happens.
Might take it.
We'll see. Okay, are we going? Johnny Ice, you ready to go to break here?
Okay,
so we're going to go to break in a second, but when we come back, we are going to be
a packed house.
We are super excited. We have Maria Menounos coming in, and she's going to be talking about her brand new movie, The Adventures of Serial Buddies. And we are, it's a cool story so far. What I read about it, and it's I can't wait to talk to them about it. And we're going to talk some wrestling news. I know you're very excited about that as well.
Absolutely.
So, all right, guys, we'll be back in a second with Maria Menounos.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
To leave your house to shop, to crawl through traffic to the mall,
just to find the thing you wanted.
Isn't even there at all. Amazon.com is the answer. Shop at home in style and ease.
Find exactly what you want.
Ordering your stuff's a breeze.
Books on tape, games galore, everything you're looking for.
Kindle, cameras, electronics.
Baby Einstein.
Hooked on phonics.
Blu-ray,
movies,
and TV.
Download,
music, MP3,
Pixar, Disney, microphones,
pet supplies, and doggy bones. World of Warcraft,
Nancy Drew,
Sims,
the Scruff, System too.
Click Amazon.
You'll smile with glee.
Sometimes shipping's even free.
What's up, Toadheads? Hey, make sure you check out the Toad Hop store on ToadHopNetwork.com. It's a great way to support the network and helps continue to bring you quality programming.
Quality programming, my ass.
Can you see I'm recording you? Oh!
Hey, Toad Hop listeners, the Sports Guru
and the Bud Knocker
from the Sportscast Wednesdays, 4 to 6 Pacific Standard Time.
You got to check us out, man. We do sports like nobody else. Cover NHL, NBA, NCAA, NFL. We cover all sports. We got You Got Not the Fuck Out, Bonehead of the Week. Check us out on Toad Hop Network, 4 to 6 on Wednesdays.
And if you miss it, go back and watch it live, ToadHopNetwork.com, or download the audio from iTunes. While you're there, leave a comment and rate the show. Hey, guys, we need it. We're the nickel and dime show of the network.
Check us out. A lot of fun.
Are you experiencing occasional constipation, fatigue, weight gain, poor circulation, sleepless nights, depression, or lack of concentration? Your health conditions may be related to a toxic colon. Yes, I'm talking about pooping. It's time to detoxify and feel healthy. Miracles of Health offers you a smooth and gentle solution. PuraCleanse, the #1 colon cleanser you can count on. Go to miraclesofhealth.com or call 888-495-9864 and get your 7-day free trial of PuraCleanse. All you have to do is pay $4.99 for the shipping. PuraCleanse, your friend for life.
With GameFly, choose from over 6,000 titles. Play as long as you want and send them back when you're done. $8.95 to start, no late fees. Gamefly.com. Games delivered.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network. Radio worth watching.
I did that for you guys. That is, everybody's getting rickrolled before we start into our show right here.
Okay, do you know when I was little, I used to want my parents to play this just so I could say Rick Astley because it felt like I was saying a curse word.
And now look at you. Now you get shy every time you do any type of curse word. You're so cute.
Stop it. Stop.
All right. Okay, guys. We are ready to roll here. We have very exciting guests coming in. And Kenny...
Yes,
so what we know so far about this new project is that both Maria and Kevin Undergaro have produced this movie, and it's got like a Dumb and Dumber feel from the trailer meets like Dexter.
Little John Waters thrown in.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I can't wait to talk to them about it. Here they come. Our guests are entering the studio as we speak. Yay! Let's give them a Schmoe Know welcome. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, Hal.
How you doing?
All right.
Hal?
How you doing?
Good.
Take a seat.
Virtually
meet you.
That's right.
Across the room.
Welcome to Schmoeville. Yes. So, Maria, how are you? Nice to. Do we have cans for Maria?
We got cans. She's settling in. We're not going to.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure that. Hey, listen.
We've got blueberries. We've got almonds. We'll get you some water. Whatever you need.
That's all they got. I haven't gotten blueberries.
Look at you guys
almonds.
with your healthy blueberries.
Yeah. Before you showed up, there were Doritos and cheeseburgers all over this place.
That's my kind of time.
And then,
Oscar show was cookies galore.
It was, and then someone made a good point about that Oscar show too. It's like, hey, you guys didn't have any protein. That's why you're dead. I'm sitting there shoveling crap in my face.
I
the whole
tried
time.
to have my turkey stuff in here and just smelled gross.
Before we get into, because I want to talk to you guys about your movie. We saw the trailer and everything too. But before we do that, I'd love to get your take on this because we were just talking about Seth MacFarlane and this whole thing that he's getting with the backlash with the Oscars, and we thought that the guy was basically fighting an uphill battle.
Oh, of course.
It's just like he's this guy. They were going for this young demographic, and he had to conform at one point. And then he also, when he did his young jokes, the old farts got pissed off about it. So, what did you think of the performance? And do you kind of see that he was fighting that battle?
Well, first of all, I'm friends with Seth, and I mean, we knew it was a thankless job.
Yeah.
From the get-go. I was interviewing him just days before. I'm like, Seth, this is a thankless job, right? And he goes, yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, no matter what, it's really rare that people go up there and do the job and be praised later. There's always complaints.
Yeah.
And especially if you're willing to stick your neck out and actually do something that's
a risk.
A risk,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm not friends with Seth, and I will come right out and say, the guy's an asshole. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, I think he did a great job. You got to straddle the line. It's like you got to keep the Oscar integrity, but he wants to retain his voice. But if anything, he did a better job than James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
That was one of my points. He remained more sober than
Shoozy Pants, our intern back there, did a better job as well. So.
He did an amazing job. I didn't get to see the entire thing because I was running back and forth working, but I saw the opening. I loved the boob song. My mom was like, might Daddy, I didn't like the song. I'm like, Mom, shush.
Right,
the song was funny.
And that's exactly the point, is that people in our age demographic thought that was funny, and then my mother-in-law said the same thing. Oh, I don't like that Seth MacFarlane at all. And I'm like, did you watch it? And like 10 minutes. I'm like, how do you know? Like, how do you even watch it?
I think he could have been an equal opportunity offender with the boob song, like just transition to we saw your dong.
Right. Yeah,
Chelsea
that's true.
Handler did that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like you hire him because of who he is, and then you bring him in, and they don't want him to do what he does. Everyone knows that he's not the nicest comedian ever. Like, he doesn't tell nice jokes.
Well, now he's just going to, like we said, he's just going to shit all over those people anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He doesn't tell nice jokes either. It's like he just goes for whatever's funny. And if it's funny, it just doesn't matter. You're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's what, when I was interviewing him just before, I said, all right, everyone's terrified of how mean you're going to be. And he's like, if it's funny, I'm going to say it. And you know what? I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I want to laugh. I've never seen a better nominations morning than the morning he did it.
Right.
We were all rolling and laughing, and usually they're so boring, and we just are like, can we just get the names?
Right.
But you wanted more, and
it's a
guess
show.
what? We got more.
Right.
I mean, there are very few people that are more gifted, I think, than him.
He's so smart,
talented. Right. He's so gifted.
But why didn't he whip out the Stewie voice?
Well, you know what? I love that he didn't, though. I love it because we had an over and under in here how many times he was going to do it. And he didn't do it. And I was like, good for him, because he knows people are probably, because that's where he thinks. He's like, I think Peter Griffin could have made him.
Oh, my God. And the Shatner bit was brilliant.
Loved it.
Shatner was brilliant.
Now, one of our listeners right now tweeting in wants to know if you know where the idea for the We Saw Your Boobs came from. Do you know how he came up with that? No.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
No problem at all. just asking for Schmoe.
The idea came from being a guy.
And watching movies with boobs.
Well said. All right, so...
Hey, can we pause for a moment and introduce Hal Rudnick, who
of
is
course.
the cast members of Adventures of Serial Brothers. You don't know me too well. We actually old groundling friends, Mikey Day and all that whole group.
Wow,
years ago. So
totally.
I want to give him... We all know who Maria is.
Yes. I was going to introduce Hal as having one of the best lisps of all time in that trailer. It sounds like
I know. I'm like, should I be creeped out by him in here now?
You can't be, because even though he kills people, he's got like a 3-year-old's voice, and it's hysterical. Like, again, and we're talking about the movie The Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Yeah, and it's about a couple of serial killers and with hearts of gold.
Now, where did that voice come from? Like, because again, that to me it stuck out right off the bat.
Well, we all have an inner dumb guy inside.
Yeah,
like a sweet child. I should say that.
And that's what it sounds like. Yeah, right.
And he is not fully grown up. He has failed to launch a little bit, and you might say he is very mildly retarded.
No, that's
you
not.
wouldn't say that. Wait, Maria,
I have no
jumped
part in any of this.
I mean, on set, Maria was like, "You're retarded."
No, I didn't. Just throw her under the bus.
It's the tard scene. Bring in the tard.
Actually, was very much against that, but I am not in the creative.
I'm checking the internet right now. Maria Menounos quoted as saying that. The internet has ran with it.
Maria, you're going to have to donate money to the Special Olympics after this.
Unbelievable.
No, I'm kidding. Maria never said that. So he's a little bit dense, but lovable, has a heart of gold. And he and his co-serial killer set out on this road trip, only killing people who really deserve it.
Okay, well then
so Dexter.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to ask you, because
Good save the cat moment, you know.
Yeah,
Make them lovable.
so then when you're watching this, that's what you're getting. You're getting like a Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, when you look at this trailer. So Maria, the question is, how did you get involved with this now, with the producing element of it all, and what kind of made you attached to want to do this?
Well, I've been working with Kevin Undergaro, the writer and director, since I was 19. I love his work and instantly did back then, and produced his first feature in the Land of Merry Misfits that made its premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. He eventually vaulted it for specific reasons, and this was his next feature. He makes offbeat comedies. He's also my boyfriend and other half since.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't know we could bring that up. Okay.
Yeah. And so so we've been working together. We've been making short films, feature films, all kinds of things ever since.
And they work so great together. Very few PDAs on the set. Yeah. And I'll just say, I was super, like, Maria got her hands dirty. Like, she was carrying equipment, carrying sandbags. And everybody's like, chill out a little bit. But, like, not a diva. Like, just, we were in the trenches.
Now, would you be saying that if she wasn't in the room?
Yeah.
Oh. He's like,
you know what?
You're going to have to read the tell-all. No, but, she, like, you know, I thought she, like, didn't give a shit about breaking a nail or anything like that.
Right.
Funny. I interviewed Beth Bears today, who also stars in it at the Grove, and she was saying the same thing. She's like, she's Superwoman. I'm like, no, please don't. It's so embarrassing. But, you know, what was great about these guys is when we brought them all on board before they officially, we're signing on the dotted line, we're going to be a part of this film, I said, listen, it's going to suck. It's going to be hot. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be hard. We may not have food. We may have to ration things. I mean, it could suck really, really bad. So I want you to know it's going to be awful. And I also expect you to work. And so you're not just on camera, you're behind the camera because we're trying to do something really ambitious here, and I need all hands on deck. And these guys were incredible. They would be rapping out with me at 3 a.m. on roller skates, whatever we were doing for a scene. We were like all hands on deck, all a team. Beth, you know, Hal, Paul, all these
Maria's
guys.
parents, who are beautiful, amazing people, and I wish would adopt me. Like they did almost all of the craft service for the film, and we were like amazing Greek delicacies.
That's so cool.
And the best pizza on the East Coast
From
as
Tony,
well.
yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you know, the thing is, when you say you had a speech like that, and I can only imagine that when you hear that, you don't say, oh, we're going to have to work. You go, well, this person's passionate about what they're doing, and it inspires you. Like, I can see that where that would work, as opposed to like, well, thanks for joining, and oh, yeah, by the way, we don't have shit for food, so have fun doing the scene, you know, and then you throw it, like, so it's got to be encouraging for sure, but like,
I was trying to scare them not to do it. I wanted to scare.
See who was going to quit?
You know what it was? I wanted to scare any bad seeds out now. I didn't need complainers. I didn't need negativity. This is like something
weed out your soldiers.
Yeah. And what was great is I remember Hal saying to me, he goes, you know what's amazing about you? He's like, you told us it was going to be hard. You didn't sugarcoat it. Yeah. And it totally prepared us for, you know, for the few things that were tougher. But, I mean, it rained every single day. Yeah. And it was all daylight exterior.
May I ask what the budget? Can I ask what the budget on the film was?
It was like Mark Cuban's bar tab on a Friday night. And so...
But it's in a non-championship.
$6.2 million.
But what's amazing is, you know, the movie looks, and we had, you know, everyone from Alexander Payne come into the edit bay and say, wow, this looks like a $10 million movie, and we did it for a super, super, super low budget, and it was because it was so all hands on deck, and because we had producers like Tony Piscatello, who my boyfriend found in Canterbury, Connecticut. We bought a house there, intending on filming there on 60 acres, and Kevin met this guy who owned a pizza shop, and he's like, Maria, he's going to be one of our producers, and I go, rewind, you just said this guy who owns a pizza shop in Canterbury is going to produce a movie? And he goes, yeah, no, he's amazing. So I met him, and I was like, oh, geez, this guy, he's got passion. And he reminded me of me when I first got into filmmaking. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was passionate, and I knew how to connect dots. So, of course, people were rolling their eyes. He had, like, the thick gold chain. He was like, you know, Italian, the whole thing. That man got us the most amazing locations. Kevin one day was like, I need...
Because those are the guys. Those are the guys that know everybody. And
yes!
For sure. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, we're worried about don't worry about it.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and we're going to get it.
He's got great sausage, too. He's going to bring in, and you guys are being set. You know, I totally understand that, because I know guys like that. I grew up in Queens. So
the one strike against it is that the Gambino family owns about 10% of the film.
That's the truth. Well, so here's a question I think that I can probably answer, but like, you called in some favors then, because you have Christopher Lloyd in this thing. Yes. You have the great Fonz. They have Doc Brown and the Fonz in this movie. Who was the first person behind, once we're on cut, that to start talking to Christopher Lloyd about doing Doc Brown lines? Someone did it. Someone talked to him.
I don't remember that, but I do remember I was the person who told Christopher Lloyd that Michael Jackson died.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, we were all like looking at our
Harbinger
phones.
of bad news.
Yeah. Yeah, don't kill a messenger. But
oh my God. What did he say?
Like, he was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, Michael Jackson died." And he's like, "Oh, that's sad.
We got to take the.
Wow.
We got to go back."
I wasn't there because
I was about to do it as a man. It's a bad taste.
I got called to go to New York and host the Today Show, so I wasn't there during Christopher Lloyd's scenes, which was awful.
Oh
but,
man, so you didn't you didn't do any of it?
I wasn't there for any of it. Yeah, they were on their own. It was tough, right?
Yeah, he walked in and he's like, "No Menounos, I'm out of here."
But he was all in. I heard that. At first he was kind of like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And then when he saw how much how dedicated everyone was and how good everybody was, he really was like, oh my God, and he put everything he had into it, which was awesome.
And he needs to do that type of stuff because he did the Piranha 3D, which, my God, if you never saw it, don't.
I didn't.
We titled it on our channel, the biggest stink pile of the year, because I get the B movie feel of it all, but it's like, but this was just over the top and yeah, we're supposed to see boobs, but this was like dirty, like off Vegas stripper boobs. It just didn't work. So
not the kind of boobs you want to see.
No. So, but when I see him in this trailer, I'm going, okay, he's doing old school comedy again. He's doing this he's got this rhythm. So, and again, and same thing with Henry Winkler, who I have met and is probably one of the nicest men in.
Nicest.
Oh, super cool. So, did you get to do some scenes with Henry Winkler?
Well, Henry narrated the film, and so he was the last person that I brought on board, and he was incredible. I mean, the man wrapped a movie where he was shooting in the rain outside, sopping wet. He wrapped at 6 a.m. and showed up at 7:30.
Here Comes the Boom. Is that what it was?
I don't know what it was.
Because there's a rain scene that I thought about.
It might have been.
Yeah, and he just crushes it in that movie too.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And an hour and a half later, he's doing voiceovers with us, and so I am, forever in debt to him. He's such an incredible friend. And
you know what he'd say to that?
Yeah, that's true. Well, and who also is in this movie too? Shooter McGavin.
Yeah,
Christopher McDonald,
yes,
man, and
he's amazing.
That guy also. One of our friends of the show, Bonnie Somerville, did a movie with him with Neil Patrick Harris, and I cannot remember the name of the movie, but he's one of these guys. You give him it, and boom, he hits it out of the park every time.
I mean, it was silly.
Yeah,
it was silly.
Did he stuff? How does that work now? Now, how did you guys? First of all, how did you guys meet? Just through the audition process?
I auditioned, and
didn't I find you performing
at the pizzeria?
Kevin and I actually went to shows all over town, and we're casting.
I do a lot of live comedy in Los Angeles, and Upright Citizens Brigade Theater a lot, UCB, and I got a call to come in and audition, and just we all fell in love from there.
Was the accent and was that a suggestion, or was that all you?
It was suggested, but then I did my own interpretation of what they wanted. They wanted a really kind of blue collar guy, with a speech impediment. So I just took that ball and ran with it.
Love it. Yeah, check out, and so our audience can check out the trailer on YouTube. And I guess you just type in The Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Or you can go to serialbuddies.com.
Okay.
But not cereal like the food cereal.
Nope.
Like serial killer.
Yeah, it's not about Captain Crunch and Snap Crackle and
No. And, I wanted to ask, I can ask you, I can ask Kevin, because he's in the room as well.
No,
but
he's not.
No.
He's not in the room.
No, that's Brett.
Oh, it's Brett. Sorry, okay.
Kevin's in Portland right now shooting another project.
Well, then we're going to have to ask you these Kevin questions.
Okay.
All right. So Kevin was a carny, correct?
Yes, he was.
And this is how he came up with the idea.
Yes, Kevin is very creative, eclectic, strange.
We knew it at Carney.
Yeah, I mean, he's had such incredible experiences that, the stories are so unbelievable and they're frightening, and they raise the hair on my arms when he tells me, and I'm like, this is too much. How the hell did you survive and make it out alive?
Carnival.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, and so I'm thinking about this, so correct me if I'm wrong. So the story was that he was working there, and then he hears this guy that he's working with. Oh yeah, by the way, I kill cats, and I used to kill people too. And it's like, well, what happens? He knows that somebody was a killer, and then he goes, oh, this would make a great movie.
Actually, it was someone that he met in Connecticut that they hired to come work on our property, and he was doing something on our property. And my friend Joe, who's also a producer on the film and does security for us, was looking at him with the third eye, and he's like, there's something up with this guy. There's something up with this guy.
By the way, you don't want to get on the bad side of Big Joe.
Yeah. And then, Kevin, of course, just loves, gathering information, was starting to gather information. It started to seep out to me. I was horrified. I'm like, get this freaking guy out of here.
What was the information?
I cannot say because I'm so mortified. It was just bad stuff.
Wait, we got to know it. Give us something.
No, this person just had interesting collections of things on his computer and like just
feet?
No.
Because that's shoesy
honestly,
pants.
Like, I only know the minor things compared to what he did. I was like, get him out of here now. So, of course, Kevin thought this was his, like, pet. He was like, oh, this is great material.
I'm getting
and
so
I'm
many
like,
movies out of this guy.
You're right.
Two words.
Your writer instinct.
Amputee porn.
Yeah, Kevin just tweeted, and he's actually in our closet chained up right now.
I mean, Kevin, you know, he is just special, and so we got rid of him, but he got taken away too. So at some point,
he's no longer with us.
At some point, Kevin couldn't reach him anymore because he was in the clink.
Wow, look at that.
So your instincts were right.
Of course they were. I'm Greek and I'm a woman. We have great instincts.
Oh, that's so
funny. Kevin's trying to bring him home for dinner.
Yeah, Kevin's insane.
That's kind of terrifying.
Try being me.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. And again, so how did you? So he was Cory for a while. How did you meet in college or?
I met Kevin when I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him. My cousin had gone to high school with him and had always said, you know, when you go out to LA someday, you know, I got a buddy there, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he ended up coming back to Boston to make his first feature. And I met him there and started working on it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And
you also seem to have a lot of mobsters in your life.
That was one of our Boston pals.
That's just
Okay, very cool. Well, another thing. Again, someone just tweeted in right now. As far as this movie is in limited release, correct?
Yes.
And can they get it on Netflix?
We will have our VOD deal comes out. We have a 90-day agreement with AMC, so 90 days after the release of Serial Buddies this next weekend.
Okay.
So I think it's like June 4th or something like that. It'll be available for purchase on our website at serialbuddies.com. It'll be available on iTunes. We're now doing our deals with Netflix and all the other companies, but we're doing this ourselves. So we're kind of, putting the whole back end of it together on
Isn't
our
that
own.
crazy too? How video on demand now it's just a whole new thing. Because again, like when we do, because my buddy who we started the show with, he's not here right now, but he when we started our channel. They didn't have the video on demand, and now certain studios will send us the video on demand link, and it's in and as like when we saw Arbitrage, and it's just such a good way to get the word out now about the movie, and the life carries on forward.
Hollywood has kind of become a do-it-yourself town now. There's enough technology to go out and do things on your own. It sounds like true independent filmmaking. You're out till 3 a.m, all working as a team doing this.
Yeah.
So, if you have the will, you can do it.
Well, also, when you've got something that, you want to make your investment back on and you want to pay people back that you owe, and you have the resources to get it publicity and hype on your own, it also helps. And so for us, it was one of those things where it could get buried, which happens to a lot of filmmakers, which is really sad and unfortunate. Or we can just bet on ourselves, go out with a big push, and I'll be on the Today Show next week. I'll be on Piers Morgan next week. We're going to be
as will I,
talking about
Maria?
I'll be talking about it everywhere, and then we'll be getting all of our celebrity friends to tweet. And what's great is I have a great network of friends that will all pitch in and help me, and then I help them back.
Yeah.
And so you can do that nowadays, with Twitter.
It's crazy.
We have the power to publicize things on our own. So not just through Twitter, but there's so many channels to do this through.
I mean, that's the thing again, because speak from this show, this is how we built the show through YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. And it's just a different way to market now. And it's so funny because my dad, who is 67 years old, retired and starting to do music now. And he's like, you know what? I'm coming around. I'm a hypocrite, but I'm using that Facebook. I'm using it. That Facebook, it's working. I'm like, all right, keep going. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Well,
so
it's like everyone now kind of has to wear multiple hats all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an actress and a host, and so you're interviewing people that you're like, do you want to be in my next movie?
I know.
And
yeah,
then
but
you're being interviewed.
look at Justin Bieber.
How did you
get? You know what I mean? It's like, look at all these people who have blown up, and just because they promoted themselves, YouTube stuff. It's just the way to do things now.
Yeah.
How did you get Kathie Lee Gifford and kind of ramp it up and have some fun on set?
Well, Kathie Lee was funny because I had cast Cassidy, her daughter, in one of the roles, and she drove Cassidy to the set. And when Kevin saw her, he goes, I have an idea. And I'm like, oh, God, here he goes. And he's like, ask Kathie Lee if she'll be in the movie. I'm like, Kevin, I'm not asking her to be in the movie. I'm like, she just came here. It's her day off. I'm like, no. And he goes, Maria, trust me. I have an idea. I'm going to write the scene on site right now. Just go ask her. And so I was like, oh, my God. And, you know, of course, she was like, no, this is Cassidy's thing. Cassidy overheard. And she was like, no, Mom, do it. So, of course, once we got her in, Kathie Lee
just went for it.
She's amazing. And we actually decided to do another shoot. There was another thing we wanted to add her into at the end. And so she, of course, said yes. I sent in my crew, and I literally grabbed them almost by the necks virtually. And I was like, you guys go in there. You get it done fast. You do not break anything. You do not bother them. You don't wear shoes in the carpet. Like, you just go in and out, get it, and get out. They get there, and you know what she does? She literally was like, she saw them kind of nervous and scurrying to get it done. She's like, everybody sit down. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. And I don't care if it takes 10 hours. We're going to be the best 40 seconds in this movie. Whatever, you know, because it was a quick thing. Yeah. And she's just awesome.
Yeah, I got to be in a scene with Kathie Lee, and super fun. She was great to work with. And, guys, I got to tell you, still got it. Mega Coog.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see the Mega Coog scene, because she, even in that, has she gone to that level in another movie? She looks so dirty in this movie. I'm like,
because I like it goes Mega Coog, and then she's so dirty.
She looks dirty in it. She's like licking her lips and kissing.
She went for it.
My character is like a real crush on her, and like I'm just like blown away by her.
Yeah.
And like I throw it out there, and she's like, oh, yeah, give me a call. And, like, she brought it.
Yeah.
She brought the heat.
Yeah, she did for many, many years. So.
She took me to the Bone Zone.
Wow. That happened. Kathie Lee
in the movie?
Bone Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, not in the movie. not in the movie. Just
real life.
In real life. Everyday sense.
Yeah. It's like some good pizza. All right, so I wanted to ask, again, so make sure you check that out. And it's a really funny trailer. Make sure you check it out. Thank you guys for bringing the trailer to us and letting us see it, and we're very excited to check out the whole movie. So.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to ask you some stuff, Maria, because we're very happy to have you here, and one of the things
you're about to ask something naughty.
No.
You're like, I wanted to ask you.
No.
I'm the producer. I've kept him reined in tonight. Reined in. No, there's no beer being served right now.
No,
right?
Okay. No. I know.
So if you would like some beer, we've got some beer.
Do you want a beer? If you get.
Yeah, you got Bud Light?
Absolutely.
I think we on tap. Help our guests out. Do you want a beer as well?
How would you like some beer?
Sure.
All right, that's what JTI, Josh the intern, is the man. All right, so no, we're gonna ask. There are some big wrestling fans in here.
Oh my God!
There are some huge wrestling fans. Now we've been giving away. Warner Brothers has given us 2 copies of the new Tom and Jerry DVDs, and the classic cartoon, obviously. So we're giving away. We gave away 1. We're going to give away 2. But what you have to do is you have to guess. There's someone in this room that was a writer for the World Wrestling, and it was World Wrestling Federation at the time.
Okay.
You have to guess who it was, and I'm going to ask a person in Schmoeville if you're going to get it right or not.
Of course I'm going to get it right.
Yeah, all right, well, let's see. Okay. So guys, call in at 323-622-8623, and you have to see if Maria is going to get it right, if she gets yes or no, and if you get it right, you win the you will win the DVD. Okay, so here we go. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Joe from Wisconsin.
Joe, what's up, dude? So do you think Maria will answer correctly?
I believe she will.
You believe she will? Okay, so let's see. Maria, who wrote for the World Wrestling Entertainment?
It was him.
Shoesy Pants. That is.
I don't know your name. I'm so sorry.
Shoesy Pants.
Shoesy Pants.
Yeah.
Was it you?
It's his birth name.
Well, we're going to give somebody else a chance. That is incorrect.
I was just kidding. I was totally kidding.
Right, so here we go. We're going to try again.
At that point,
will Maria get it right on her second shot? 323-622.
Only because you looked guilty. You started smiling at him over there, and I was like, oh, no.
He remember that guy you kicked out of your house?
That's
his cousin. Yeah. All right, hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Zach.
Hey, Zach. All right, so will Maria get it right on her second chance?
I don't know. I know it. I'm going to say she will get it right this time.
She will get it right. Okay, let's see. Maria?
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I know.
I had a lot of confidence in my first pick.
Yeah, you were really...
you were a big wrestling fan. You should... Someone who would be writing for the World Wrestling Federation?
around.
This person did a scene with The Rock on television.
On Raw.
Yes. It was on SmackDown or Raw?
When? I think it was on Raw.
Why? I'm not sure if that would give it away. All right. So let's see. So he says you're going to get it right for the Tom and
It's
Jerry.
a lot of pressure.
Maria's not smelling what they're cooking.
I almost want to change my answer now.
She's not selling or smelling it. Can't change your answer now.
Can I phone a friend?
You can phone The Rock.
Yes, but it's Shoesy Pants.
I'll email him.
Yeah.
Rock, who at Schmoes Knows used to write with you?
He wouldn't know.
Write for you.
You probably have no idea. All right.
All right.
I'm nervous. Maybe the beer will help.
Maria's going to take a sip of the power
Every
beer.
time they quiz me here, I get really flustered and I never respond.
Well, you
Or
get
I
things
just,
wrong all the time.
She has a Lord of the Rings tattoo. She failed Lord of the Rings trivia.
I get really nervous when I'm getting quizzed.
Yeah.
Really nervous.
Well,
Hell.
Zach's very nervous. He wants to change his answer.
Yeah. I want to help her out here.
All right. Well, here's the answer.
It's whichever finger goes down first.
All right. She has her fingers pointed at Ken. She's pointed finger at me.
50-50.
Come on.
Zach is on the edge of his seat, waiting for his Tom and Jerry.
Come on.
That is incorrect. But Zach, I'm going to tell you what, because obviously the next person who calls in would get it right. You're going to get the Tom and Jerry DVD though, dude. So
I'm sorry I let you down.
you're going to get it. So do me a favor, just send me a message over at the Facebook Schmoes page.
I hate myself.
And we will we'll hook you up.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
You got it, dude. I wrote for them.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
a long time ago. I was like 22. It was during.
I thought it was going to be you, but if you're asking,
I know,
and you said someone in this room, I kind of was like, maybe
game.
I have to go completely off.
Yeah, it's the mind game. It was,
I'm obviously not good at them.
Well, the scene was that The Rock was looking for the APA office, and I was the new guy. So Shane McMahon had put me to the side and said, okay, what do we got? A wrap? How much time?
Go to break.
We'll go to break. All right, we'll come back and I'll tell Maria the story. And we're also going to, there's a couple other things we want to talk about, and we're going to tell Maria about our segment of Tweet a Celebrity and what's been going on with that right after the break.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
With GameFly, choose from over 6,000 titles. Play as long as you want and send them back when you're done. $8.95 to start, no late fees. Gamefly.com. Games delivered.
What's up, Toadheads? Hey, make sure you check out the Toad Hop store on ToadHopNetwork.com. It's a great way to support the network and helps continue to bring you quality programming.
Quality programming, my ass.
Can you see I'm recording you? Oh!
Is that hunk of junk you call a car always breaking down and leaving you in the dust? Log on to Dyson-Motors.com and check out Dyson's full inventory online. With hundreds of quality cars in stock of all makes and models, you can find the next car of your dreams in minutes. And know you're getting super low pricing. Purchase a car today from Dyson Motors and receive a year of free oil changes. Bad credit? Worried about financing? Log on and get pre-approved in seconds. Go to Dyson-Motors.com and find your new car today.
Hey, Toad Hop listeners, this is Freddie Lockhart and
Candace Thompson
with
What's Good,
starring
Freddie Lockhart
and
Candace Thompson.
And we are a show that knows a little bit about a lot. We talk about hip-hop, we talk about other people who can't help themselves, and we talk about all sorts of things. Music, TV, gossip, you name it, we do it. Be sure to check out our show live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the ToadHopNetwork.com. And if you miss it, go back and watch it on ToadHopNetwork.com or download the audio from iTunes. Don't be a jerk. Do it. While you're there, leave a comment and rate the show. It's very important, Candace. They have to leave a comment and rate the show. You know why?
Why?
Otherwise, we'll be on the bottom. And we like to be on the top, don't we?
I know I do.
Yeah, girl.
Are you experiencing occasional constipation, fatigue, weight gain, poor circulation, sleepless nights, depression, or lack of concentration? Your health conditions may be related to a toxic colon. Yes, I'm talking about pooping. It's time to detoxify and feel healthy. Miracles of Health offers you a smooth and gentle solution. PuraCleanse, the #1 colon cleanser you can count on. Go to miraclesofhealth.com or call 888-495-9864 and get your 7-day free trial of PuraCleanse. All All you have to do is pay $4.99 for the shipping. Pure Cleanse, your friend for life.
To leave your house to shop, to crawl through traffic to the mall.
Just to find the thing you wanted.
Isn't even there at all. Amazon.com is the answer. Shop at home in style and ease.
Find exactly what you want.
Ordering your stuff's a breeze.
Books on tape, games galore, everything you're looking for.
Kindle, cameras, electronics.
Baby Einstein.
Hooked on phonics.
Blu-ray,
movies,
and TV.
download,
music, MP3,
Pixar, Disney, microphones, pet supplies, and doggy bones.
World of Warcraft,
Nancy Drew,
Sims,
the Scruff system too.
Click Amazon.
You'll smile with glee.
Sometimes shipping's even free.
Live from the Toad Hop Network studios
in Hollywood.
This
is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
Enhances the senses, opens your mind.
Radio worth watching.
Radio worth watching.
Huh? It's the cutest.
Oh, waiting for the music to come in. This is for them.
I love it. I love
that. Was for you guys.
When we got a critic to actually give us a review and it said Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber, I'm like, I love you.
Yes. I mean, you could tell from the tone that you're going, and when you guys explain the fact that you to only kill bad people, it's like, okay, great.
Well, he kills prospective trophy winners, actually.
Yeah, what's the story behind that?
Gary kills, you can say, and then I'll tell you about Gregory.
Yeah, so I'm a trophy maker, and I don't want my job to get any harder, so I kill prospective trophy winners, and but most of them that I kill, they're all douchebags.
Yeah.
All just pieces
They
of
are
crap.
bad, yes. So, and then Gregory kills people who are bad.
Right.
To give them safe passage.
Yes.
It's probably the only way you can really make that story work. Like I said earlier, save the cat moment from screenwriting. You got to give the characters, the audience, something to love. So kill bad people.
Well, we gave Maria something to love during the break. It was so funny. We're taking a picture, and she sees like a turtle. And she says, "Oh, look at the cute turtle!" And you point to the side, and the mascot, the Schmoes Know mascot, MacGyver the dog, is laying there, and we lost Maria. She just tuned out. We'll put a.
I had emailed Johnny Ice, our engineer and program director, earlier. I said, "Is MacGyver going to be there?" I know Maria will love MacGyver more than anything in the studio right now.
MacGyver is the sweetest, most soulful little muffin.
That is a 4-month-old
Johnny Ice. I think
such a good dog. You would never even know there was one in here. I had no idea, and I'm like
so
dog crazy. My radar didn't even suspect
That's
it.
because Johnny Ice knows how to pick dogs. Johnny, give yourself a plug here.
I just want to say that if I would have had this dog when I was single.
Wait a minute. Give me a little Johnny Ice.
Johnny Ice.
Perfect. All right, so let's talk first. We're going to talk about Tweet a Celebrity because I want to tell Maria how this works. Johnny, do we have a Tweet a
Wait, we
Celebrity?
never heard the wrestling story.
I'll tell you in a second. I want to tell you this thing.
All right.
I would not boss her around. You heard what she does in that set.
I want to hear this.
Every random thought counts, and even powerful people.
I'm watching Christian when the song is on because he's mouthing all the words.
Tweet a celebrity.
Motherfucker. So, Tweet a Celebrity, what we've done here, when we started this thing out, obviously no one was listening. Now a lot of people are listening, and we're happy about that. So what we're doing is we're tweeting out to celebrities, and we are basically having our fans, we'll pick a celebrity, we'll put a name in a hat, and they tweet out the celebrity, and they basically bombard them.
Nice.
And they say, you have to do the
like
Schmoe Know
that.
podcast. And you were in a hat one day. It would have been really funny. We got you without having to do that. But so Jason Momoa.
Without the harassment.
Without the harassment. But Jason Momoa actually tweeted back, and he wrote back, what was it? Well. We don't know what that means yet, but that's our first kind of response. To tweet a celebrity. Somebody, like one of our fans had tweeted him and said, you have to do the Schmoes Know podcast, and he just wrote back, well. So
who's the celebrity?
It was Jason Momoa. One of the ones was. So during one of our rounds, he was picked, and then our fan tweeted him, and he responded. So now this week we're going to write a celebrity down.
Okay. I'm picking.
You're gonna pick. You'll definitely pick out of the hat. You write one down. Everyone's going to tweet it. You can tweet at them too, and then
that's how we get our guests on AfterBuzz.
Is it really?
As well.
I want to talk to you about AfterBuzz as well, because I was reading what you guys did with that, and it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do is you take a celebrity that you want to have on the show, and you put them on there.
Too?
Yeah, you're going to write a name, and then you will pick, and whenever Shoesy Pants or Joshy interns back here, we will have them pick the name out, and then Schmoville, you know how this works. Once we pick, you guys tweet, we'll all tweet them, and we're going to get this person on the show. Again, we are joined by Maria Menounos, and we were talking about her movie, which is really exciting. We can't wait for that to come out. But we're also going to tell wrestling stories. A lot of fun here, and then she's going to steal MacGyver the Dog. Okay, guys. So you're writing. Write your celebrity names down.
I don't know who to put down.
And you don't know anybody, right?
Yeah. Oh my pressure.
Sure. And
you know what?
Think of somebody that you think would be fun on this show.
I got it.
Someone that you think would be fun that you could see
You
coming here and shooting
mentioned him
this show.
earlier, and you said you loved him, so I'm putting him in. Because if I tweet him, he'll do it anyway.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right. So one of the things that I was reading about you as well too, and you became very successful at a young age, and what was so great about what you did, which is what we pride ourselves here, is you're conversational. When you're talking to someone and they don't feel like they're being interviewed, you feel like you're talking to them, and I think that's what it makes it feel more natural. Totally. And I think that's why we want to have people come on here and do. So
thanks for noticing.
Well, that type of person that you think, and hopefully that's that type of person in my hand here. I'm going to write someone down right now, and all right, there we go. Everybody else is in there.
Yep. Now, of course, MacGyver has his own Twitter page, so
MacGyver.
Feel free to follow him.
Oh my God!
All right, am I picking? Or should we let Maria pick?
I think you should let Maria pick.
All right, let Maria. I'm a let Maria. She's the guest, so Maria is going.
Christian cheats when he picks them out anyway.
No, he always chooses
his own.
I got it right once. All right,
okay.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
The winner is.
What the hell is that?
That's got to be mine. The Rock.
I don't know what it looked like. Japanese.
It is Japanese. That's The Rock.
Okay. Let's smell what The Rock is cooking.
Let's put. Yeah, we can. All right. Let's tweet The Rock.
Are we doing it right now?
Well, what was yours?
Mine was Henry Winkler.
Oh, that would have been great too.
Because you got to get the font.
Let's do both. let's tweet The Rock and Henry Winkler. So there you go.
If you put it in the same tweet, it might make both of them go, what?
Perfect. Yeah. Again,
hey, The Rock.
Hey, The Rock. Hey, and what is Henry Winkler's Twitter handle?
He's okay. Hold on, I have him here.
Because
Henry is H Winkler for real.
Perfect.
HWINKLER, the number 4 real.
All right.
And then The Rock is
just The Rock, right?
No, is he?
Yeah,
no,
it's at The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson at The Rock. So
okay,
there you go. Those are our two. Tweet them out there. Everybody tweet them. That's right. You have to come on the Schmoes Know podcast. Make sure you at Schmoes Know in there as well. And we are going to try to land one of these people. And if we can't land one with the help of Maria Menounos, we're sunk. All right, guys.
Gotta come on the.
All right, so let's take a call from Schmoe.
Do you guys have a Twitter handle?
Yes, at SCHMOESKNOW at Schmoes Know. All right, guys, here we go. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Blake from Facebook.
Blake from Facebook. You actually run Facebook?
The Facebook.
No.
Yeah,
Doug from.
What's up, bud?
The hockey team, but the one before, I was that kid who was all nervous.
Yeah. And I know who you are, buddy. What's going on, dude? So what do you got? Hello.
Oh, not much. You're just calling in from the lousy state of Alabama,
Lousy state? I've been through that state. It's a good song.
There's some pretty stuff there. So, Blake, let me ask you. So we lost Blake. Never mind. All right. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Bobby Finstock.
God.
Now, if you don't, we have a legendary character that comes into this podcast, and he wears a Hungarian beard mask, and he tells crazy stories.
Beanie.
Now, wait a minute. Now, do you have any stories on you? Because this would be something again that Maria could do. That I'm sure she could call you out on your bullshit. He comes in, he tells these stories, and there's truths in these stories. But I don't need a long one that's going to take up the whole podcast. I need one that's going to do like a minute. You got a minute?
It's going to be a quick one. It's about Maria.
No.
Oh, no.
Well, she's going to know.
It's very easy though.
Are there actual truths in here that she's going to be like, how does this guy know? All right, fine. Tell the story quick.
Mm-hmm. Was she a janitor in a bar from the age of 4 to 13?
Was she a janitor?
Am I supposed to reveal this?
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to...
I know the answer due to my producer.
So it's true.
I'm not going to answer because that might make me sound like the guy in her property that was not asked to.
Well, then I'm going to go ahead and it's true, right? Bobby Finstock. I don't know. You never know with this guy. You never know with this guy. He's like he was pulling out all these truths. Like he was talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't know. It's bullshit. I don't know.
Well, Daniel Day-Lewis did have.
We don't need to talk.
But
we don't
he
know.
said part of the story was
we did
true,
not have
and
rabies.
there's only like what either she was or wasn't a janitor.
Oh,
or
that's true. It was something she did
different.
something else. Right. Okay, so then that's the point. I'm gonna say she had a job from the time she was that age.
4.
Yeah, when she was 4, she had a job.
She was on the Today Show at 4.
Yeah, okay, right. She interviewed Obama when she was 4. All right. So what was the?
He's right.
The whole way through?
He's right. I actually went to work with my parents from the time I was born, and I started working with them the time I could hold a broom. Wow. So I think by 4 I was pretty good at it.
Did you hear him? Poof. All right, poof your ass. Get out of here.
I'm not going on a date with you.
Bobby, you got to go out on a date.
No.
Yeah, we'll have Maria follow you around, and then she can shoot it for extra. All right, so let's talk about a couple things here. I'll tell you the story real quick with The Rock now that we're there. So basically I did a scene with him to where I was one of the writers on the show, and they put me in the hallway, and he had to come through, and Shane's like, okay, just improvise the scene, Rock will do the thing, and I'm like, okay. So he comes up and he goes, hey, are you new here? And he never talked to anybody in this thing. And he's like, he would just literally shit on them and walk out. And he actually started talking to me. So I'm like,
wait, for real? In real life?
No,
you mean?
in the scene. No, in the scenes he would shit on all the employees and stuff.
Of course.
No, in real life,
he's incredible.
He's the sweetest guy in the world.
I was like, this does not make sense.
No.
Okay.
In the scenes, he would always shit on everybody.
Yes.
So I'm expecting him to just make fun of me, get the hell out of there. But he goes, hey, he's like, are you new here? And I'm like, yeah. And he sticks his hand out and he goes, The Rock. And I'm like, and then I go to say my name, and he goes, and he shakes my hand. And he goes, you know where the APA is? I'm like, yeah, they're down the hall. And he walks down there, and that was it. And we did it 2 or 3 times. So then I saw him at a party like 2 years later, and I started talking to him because a buddy was like, look, that guy wrote for you for a while. And it was after that Rundown movie that he did. Mm-hmm. And we sat there and we talked there for a while. And he remembered some of it, and then at the end of the night, it's like 2 in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, it was fun seeing you." So, what was your name? And I go, "Oh," and he's like, And I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Yeah. It was really great. So he was a really cool dude, awesome. Fun guy, and it was right before he blew up, so it was cool. So it's funny how that all rolls around.
I remember seeing him at WrestleMania last year, just before I wrestled, and I was like, Rock, I'm getting to wrestle with you at WrestleMania. This is the greatest day of my life.
How cool is that? So who was your match with? It was The Rock.
It was I was wrestling at WrestleMania. He was as well.
Yeah.
But I was in a tag team with the girls. Yeah.
With Kelly versus Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres.
Why don't I even ask her? Why don't I even ask her?
Exactly. By the way, I am lucky. I would even remember. I was in such a haze. I had 2 broken ribs and 7 stress fractures in my feet, and I was terrified that I was going to end up dying in that ring.
No, it didn't happen because you were a badass.
I was in the middle of Dancing with the Stars, and I committed to doing it. It was a dream of mine, and so. Even though I literally looked at Kevin a couple times, I'm like, Kevin, I don't think I can do this. He goes, you have to do this. You will regret it for the rest of your life. I'm like, Kevin, I have 2 broken ribs, not like cracked, not like fractured.
I love this guy already.
2 broken ribs, 7 stress fractures, and I am going to have to take a red eye to Miami, get off the plane, rehearse for Dancing with the Stars.
If you don't fight, I'm going to get the serial killer and let him sleep in our bed.
No, he just knew that you would have been bummed out.
You know what? He knows me better than I know myself, and he knows that I can handle things, and he was like, trust me, you can do this. And I flew in on a red eye, got off the plane, rehearsed for 6 hours. Then I went to WrestleMania, wrestled, got on a plane back to L.A., got off the plane, performed for Dancing with the Stars.
Wow.
So I went like 48 hours without sleep, but I'm just lucky I didn't, have a rib puncture a lung. But it was the most incredible experience of my life. 70,000 fans in Miami Dolphin Stadium. Wow. Yeah. I mean, honestly, crazy.
You want to talk about something and be able to live a dream with wrestling? I've been on the great Roddy Piper show a lot of times.
Love Roddy. Roddy punched me in the stomach once.
Well,
punched me in the face once.
I have sent it to you, and I'm sure you're really busy. You didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I will resend it to you. We had Roddy. I wish we had the clip to play right now. We had Roddy in the studio. And we had Josh the intern ask him a question, and
it was like Josh's second week on the show, second or third week, right? He was still floating around.
So Josh asked a couple questions to Roddy, and
of his own, or that you put him up to.
I put him up to.
Okay.
And little did he know that Roddy and I had been working on this in cahoots. And
did MacGyver know?
No, MacGyver was not yet. MacGyver was not here yet. He had not been deemed the mascot yet. But so he asked him 2 questions, and Roddy, who I don't know if you've met, he's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet in your life, and he answers really nice. He's all calm, and then the third question, it was something so stupid too, like
why was your fight scene?
Why was your fight scene so long or something? He goes, "My wrestling." and Josh and he slaps Josh in the side of the face, and then
storms out of the studio.
Storms out and almost goes after him. And I stood up behind Josh. Come here, come tell Maria how scared you were. So how'd you feel,
You're
Roddy?
a sadist. I love it.
Basically, as soon as I got hit, it was a little bit of a shock, and I thought maybe is he joking? And then Christian got between him and because Roddy's right where you were. He got in between. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, this is real. And Roddy has those professional eyes of wrestling, he's staring at you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tear you to pieces. There's nothing you can do about it. And I was just kind of like a deer in headlights,
what he doesn't tell you too is he threw me under the bus. He goes, Katie Sackhoff was our co-host at the time, and he looks at Katie and he goes, and he says, she was like, oh, I just asked the questions, a Christian answer. He just dies.
Roddy storms out with his son, Colt Toombs, who's a MMA fighter and training to pro wrestle now, and they storm out. Christian goes, and this poor kid was near tears. And Christian comes back in laughing. Roddy comes back in. But Roddy felt so bad. He's such a nice guy.
So you get a fist bump from Menounos on that one. So that's my wrestling brain going at it.
First of all, I am equally as sadistic
Love
and
it.
crazy. And I do this stuff at work all the time, and you just gave me the greatest idea.
Good. So
I am going to mess with my guys at work
Just give us props afterwards. We can get you Roddy to do it, too.
So when Kathie Lee Gifford punches you, Hal.
Remember we did the Christian Bale thing on the set where I had a Christian Bale freak out.
Mm-hmm.
We told one of the Grips and myself we had one of those "you're in my shot, you're in my eye line" kind of moments, and the whole crew was fucking snookered.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, they were freaked out.
You're a big prankster then.
Oh, hardcore, and
awesome.
I live for it. I mean, I'm so sick that I drive like a maniac our golf cart at work. And I take people on their initiation ride, like anyone new has to get on the cart with me, to the point where the last security guard I put on the cart, he was really being calm, and I'm crazy. We're merely almost about to tip, and he's acting so calm. I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm gonna tip this shit. How bad could it hurt? And I'm trying to tip the cart.
At the Grove? You're doing this at the Grove?
The insurance people are going,
is having apparently, he was all calm on the cart. He went up to my lead security guy, and he goes, she's crazy. I've never been so scared in my life.
Wow.
Well, as the former security director of the farmers market next to the Grove, I got to say that is dangerous, Maria. Dangerous.
That's so funny. Did you ever try to hit Mario Lopez with the cart?
No.
No. All right. So, there's a question I wanted to ask.
But she might try
on tomorrow's episode of Extra,
your Slater.
Your extra look of the day is going to be the golf cart into the fountain at the Grove.
Right. So
seriously.
funny. Okay. Damn it.
I just swore on this a couple of times. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. So unfortunately, we're going to lose you in 10 minutes. So I wanted to ask you, we have...
we're sleeping over.
Awesome. You can stay here for the next 4 shows.
Oh,
like the Oscar show.
We'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings after, too, if you want wings.
That people just saw your face.
Yeah, can we...
Shoesy Pants, it was like Christmas morning. He was like...
Maria, can we get a soundbite for the show? Can you say, Shoesy Pants, you're a creep?
Shoesy Pants. No, he's not a creep.
Yes, he is.
No, he is.
Not a creep. Yo, wait, I'll send you sound clips, and you're going to write me back, and you're like, I totally should have said that.
My
third
or fourth night here,
he was a creep.
He tweeted a picture of my feet
without anyone telling him to do it. Look at her face.
Creepy.
Now, that being said, Maria, the floor is yours.
Oh my God, you are a creep. That's creepy.
Hal's like, I was a serial killer in a movie, and that is creepy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, he.
I mean, you see, my bar is set really high for creeps.
Yeah.
It also was that I didn't know his Twitter, so I'm looking at this, and I was like, guys, someone just tweeted about my feet. It's really, oh my God.
Well, actually, Maria, he just tweeted a picture of your left elbow. It was really nice. I'm just kidding.
No,
anyway.
I've got scars on my elbow from bull riding.
Bull riding.
See, that's you get out of there. Stop that. Get out of there. No, it's so funny. Now we're getting Shoesy. You're actually getting fans because of this. Someone tweets Shoesy fuck the world. Great. This is the kind of world we live in. All right. So
should we see if Henry and The Rock tweeted back?
We're looking.
See if they tweeted back to you.
Tweet back to us. So one of the things we are going to, obviously, from doing all these reports. Are you a big sci-fi fantasy fan as well too, or are you just not? Is that not your genre? What's your genre?
My genre in
for
film?
Movies, yeah, in film. Comedy is more your thing.
Really, sci-fi. I'm more like Yeah, comedy, drama.
Okay, so but you've got to be getting hit with for extra and stuff, all the Star Wars news and everything too. Like that's coming out. Okay.
Absolutely. We're asking David Duchovny that today if he would do Star Wars. And...
We have a fantasy draft in here right now that we did for Star Wars Episode 7. That where the winner has to the winner gets taken out to any restaurant of their choice in L.A. And so somebody has Mark Hamill and so on and so on. So what we are going to have the director of Sushi Girl, which is a smaller film that just came out, and Mark Hamill was in, and he had put something on his Facebook recently about how he was kind of bummed and kind of pissed off, honestly, that the media was covering Episode 7 so much that at his premiere of Sushi Girl, all that they would be asking Mark Hamill was about Episode 7. So it kind of diminished his movie, and so he had a backlash on his Facebook on the media. So I see it on both sides, where he's coming from, and obviously for what you do, I was curious where you stood on. Do you think that that's what the media should have been doing with him there, or should they have maybe split it up in both, give him enough time on Sushi? It's hard because Episode 7 is such a huge story. I see where he's coming from, but I see the media perspective.
It's kind of hard. You can't control it, and it's it sucks when you're the director of Sushi Girl, but you also can't control it. When there's something super exciting out there, that's what people are going to ask about. Like when I go on to, let's say, the Today Show to promote my partnership with Marshalls, they're going to ask me everything else and then maybe get to Marshalls at the end. Right. They don't care about that as much as they care about the things that is more important to their audience. Yeah. And in this case, Star Wars is such a huge film that, of course, they're going to be asking him about that. And so I know when I go on different shows, I know exactly what they're going to want to ask me first, depending on what's going on in the world that's
yeah. It's kind of like with me and the ladies, because I'm like, love me for my mind, but they're like, I want the body, and I'm like, fuck, all right, you can have it, but I got a brain.
It's exactly what it's like, Al.
It's exactly what that shit's like.
But I totally got it what he was saying though, because it's like, but again, like let's say where your movie's coming out and Henry Winkler gets cast in the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah, but see, I think Yoda, that's great. It's actually, it works in our favor, too.
But does it, though, if that's what I thought, though, and if all the coverage, that's all they talk about, and it's like, well, what about the movie? And it's
but when you Google Mark, you're going to see Sushi Girl.
Right.
And that's going to be something that everyone's going to notice at the same time. Like Beth Bears, when she made it to Two Broke Girls, I was like, yes!
Yeah.
When anyone from our movie gets success in other areas, it's more publicity for us.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly.
Well, and if you're smart with the media, as you are, I mean, you're Maria Menounos. You had this whole other career, so you're going to come on and talk about Adventures of Serial Buddies, so you're going to use it smartly. It's John Lennon and Yoko Ono doing Bed Piece in '69, going, everyone's going to be talking about it, so might as well promote something.
Yeah.
So if you're smart about it, you can make it work.
Exactly. You just got to now work a little harder, and you got to push a little harder to make sure that Sushi Girl gets some attention. And look we're talking about Sushi Girl right now.
Yeah, and
I've said it 3 times already.
It's the truth. And
we wouldn't have. I would have never said those words if it wasn't for Star Wars.
And that's the truth. But I mean, but I also, again, I want to talk. I can't wait to hear his point on it. I'm on your side, and I think I'm on more of the side of, listen, you're getting publicity. But I'm also want to hear the side of the guy who's put his blood, sweat, and tears into this whole thing, and they talk about it for 3 seconds. So I think.
By the way, but here's the thing. It probably wasn't going to get that much attention.
I agree
with
you.
I mean, I hate to be like that, but it's the same thing for me. It's like I'm having to fight tooth and nail to make sure that we get it everywhere. And this is the promise I made to these guys when I did this. I said, I am going to hustle like no one's hustled before to make sure that this movie gets heard and gets seen. And so it's actually probably the best thing that could have ever happened to him, because I would have never heard about it.
Right.
I now know about it.
Just say,
that's a big deal.
I know.
I now know about it.
I'm excited about Sushi Girl, but I'm even more excited about the sequel, Egg Roll Boy.
Yeah, sure. and it'll be a big deal, Henry. I want it all. That's actually, I think they're going to production on that right now.
Yeah. I'm already writing the script.
All right, so now Maria,
and then Thai food baby.
Yeah, that's the trilogy. That's the trilogy.
Wonton baby.
That's actually George Lucas's next trilogy. All right, Maria. So let's talk about AfterBuzz TV, and when will the Schmoes Know debut on there?
Hey, let's make it happen.
Awesome. I love it. So hustling's perfect. Tell the audience a little bit about AfterBuzz TV, because I was reading about it, and it's really incredible what you guys have done so far.
Thank you. Well, AfterBuzz, we do after shows for your favorite TV shows. So basically anything from Breaking Bad, which is my #1 favorite show of all time, to Dancing with the Stars, to Revenge, to Boardwalk Empire, whatever show you're a fan of, chances are we do the after show for it. It's like a post-game wrap-up show. Sports has a million after shows dedicated to them. Television never really did. And so what we've been doing is producing these shows that go up 5 minutes after the show is off the air. We go live talking about it, breaking it down. We have super fans that host them. We have over 200 hosts, and we do about 53 hours of programming a week. And we have 20 million downloads from all over the world. People are loving it, and we're having a great time doing it.
I, of course, am a big fan of Buzz After Raw, hosted by
Nice.
GQ Money, Ryan Klum, and Kathie Kelly,
Kathie
right?
Kelly,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It's a great show. Fun, entertaining. They had Chris Jericho on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Loved it.
I just have to say, it's really funny that you said that. What's your favorite TV show of all time?
Breaking Bad. Not of all time.
But
I
right
mean,
now.
like,
Yes.
I mean, like,
That
I
clearly-
Love
Happy
Lucy.
Days.
It's really funny that she said that,
Yeah.
because today we are sponsored by this T-shirt company, Ripped Apparel, which is, it's great. What they do is they like mix up two different genres, like or they put in like the Lord of the Rings, like this whole fantasy thing, and they put together a lot of mixes.
Show her your chest.
No, I don't. What I want to show her is
show how.
I was going to bring, because I got one sent to me today, and I was like, you know what? I think I would like to give Maria a shirt for being here today, and it happens to be a Breaking Bad.
Shut up! Heisenberg!
Whoa!
And it's in the vein of a Indiana Jones.
Did you know that's my favorite show?
No, I didn't actually.
No way.
I swear to God, I didn't.
Really? We started the whole network because of Breaking Bad.
How funny is that? So
I'm
you
Bryan
are
Cranston's
going to get
stalker.
one of the best shirts that they've done in a long time.
I'm so freaking
You're gonna probably have to
excited.
sleep in this thing because it's pretty big.
No. I've already edited it in my brain. I'm going to cut off the
Love
sleeves.
that.
I'm going to chop
All
it
right,
off
great.
there. I'm already
So this is your gift. Thank you for joining us on the
Thank
Schmoes Know
you.
show. Shuzy, make sure you get a shot, picture of the shirt.
This is exciting.
Get a picture of her with the shirt, please.
Yeah,
I like how she was like,
I'm already.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
so
already editing the shirt in my mind. I like that.
yeah, you have to. Here, Kenny, can you take a real picture? Because God knows what Shuzy Pants is shooting. Yeah, all right. So
Shuzy's a creeper.
now she'll say it because she got the Heisenberg shirt. It's just that shirt.
Have you seen this show?
I love it. Our fans. We do this thing as the TV Tuesday, where every Tuesday we review some TV show. Whether it's right now we're doing a Walking Dead episode by episode.
Dying.
Yeah, the last episode was not that great though.
The last
Andrea's got to
Sunday.
go. Andrea's got to go.
No. But last Sunday, so I interviewed her just like yesterday, and she was like, "Wait till you see this episode." I think she was talking about this coming Sunday. This Sunday is supposed to blow our minds.
Well, listen, you
Blow
have to
minds.
be a little politically correct here. I don't. She is not good on the show anymore because, and I don't know if it's her fault or the writer's fault, but all she does is mope. Does the mope thing, and she gets pissed off. And it was a throwaway episode. I love the show, but anyway. So going back to our TV Tuesday, we get requests to do certain shows, and Breaking Bad, and we watched 4 seasons in like 3 weeks, and it is the best. It is since The Wire, and it's a mixture of like The Wire, and it almost had a Sopranos. I mean, the Sopranos thing in the first, and even a Dexter thing in the first season, where he had the double light. It's so much greatness.
I can't.
You haven't watched
I
it?
still haven't.
Yeah.
Every inch
None
of
of it.
that screen is perfection.
Perfection.
The acting, the cinematography, the directing, the everything.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you ever talk about Downton Abbey?
No, we don't. Shuzy
I
Pants
just
dresses
got
up
into
like
it.
the
I
one.
wish
yeah.
that they
I just
would.
got into it. It took me a minute.
So good.
But I got into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Little slow?
It's it's just different. I also got into House of Cards. House of Cards.
Oh,
is good.
Everyone is
I'm
talking
digging
about that right now. Yeah, that's
digging
going to be the
I really
next
like
one.
it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
There is nothing like Breaking Bad. Period. End of
It's
story.
just-
That's number one. Homeland, number 2.
I got to watch
Homeland's
season 2.
good.
Homeland and Walking Dead are my tied for 2
Okay.
spot, and
You
then
just won
House
over
of
a lot of
Cards
Schmoeville
and
fans,
Downton
by the way.
Abbey. I die.
I
die
gotta
for
start watching more
shows.
TV. I
It's
just
the
watched
truth.
G.I. Joe on Netflix.
Honestly, the only reason we gave you that shirt is so you can get Bryan Cranston on the show. No,
Oh
I'm
my
just
God,
kidding.
Brian! I love.
Yeah, so it's very, very. I love that company. I love what they do, and they have a lot of Heisenberg. Oh, actually, if you look at our Twitter, I can't turn this thing around. That's our actual thing right there. That's Mark, and it's my stupid face as Heisenberg.
Sweet, in the hazmat outfit.
Yeah, so it is very. We got to go to break, huh? We're gonna lose. Maria, will you please come back and visit us again?
I will.
We'd love to have you on the show.
This is so much fun. You guys are great.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to have both of you guys. Hal, thank you so much as well.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to see the movie.
When's it released again? March 8th?
It's released
AMC?
March 8th in Chicago, New York, Boston, LA, San Francisco. Go to serialbuddies.com with an S for listings and times and locations and all that good stuff.
Can follow and your Twitter handle, sir?
At Hal Rudnick, HalRudnick, at Hal Rudnick.
And at Maria Menounos,
and when we
me noun OS.
And MacGyver the Dog already tweeted you.
And MacGyver, my best friend.
Oh, good. So we're gonna tweet you now. So
Okay.
now we're Twitter pals.
I retweeted.
You did. You did.
I did, yeah.
You did. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And again,
Thanks
please
for
come back
having
and join
us.
us again.
Good
We'd love to see you again. Maria Menounos, Hal.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Hal Rudnick.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
To leave your house to shop, to crawl through traffic to the mall.
Just to find the thing you wanted.
Isn't even there at all. Amazon.com is the answer. Shop at home in style and ease.
Find exactly what you want.
Ordering your stuff's a breeze.
Books on tape, games galore, everything you're looking for.
Kindle, cameras, electronics.
Baby Einstein.
Hooked on phonics.
Blu-ray,
movies,
and TV.
download,
music,
MP3,
Pixar, Disney, microphones,
pet supplies and doggy bones. World of Warcraft,
Nancy Drew,
Sims,
the Scruff System too.
Click Amazon.
You'll smile with glee.
Sometimes shipping's even free.
What's up, Toadheads? Hey, make sure you check out the Toad Hop store on ToadHopNetwork.com. It's a great way to support the network and helps continue to bring you quality programming.
Quality programming, my ass.
Can you see I'm recording you? Oh!
Does your car smell like? You need Scent Bomb. Does your house smell like? Get some Scent Bomb. Does the bathroom smell like? Get some Scent Bomb. Go to GetSomeScentBomb.com today for the best air freshener you've ever tried. We are so confident that you will love Scent Bomb that we're giving away a free bottle to the next 12 customers that type in the promo code RADIO at checkout. If you're tired of weak air fresheners, try Scent Bomb. Scent Bomb is a concentrated air freshener, so all you need is just a couple of sprays and the smell will last for days. That's right, you spray it today and you still smell it tomorrow. We guarantee that it's the best air freshener you've ever tried. So go to GetSomeScentBomb.com and enter the promo code RADIO at checkout to get your free bottle today. There's nearly 100 fragrances to choose from, so go to GetSomeScentBomb.com. That's GetSomeScentBomb.com.
Hey, Toad Hop listeners, this is Freddie Lockhart and
Candace Thompson
with
What's Good,
starring
Freddie Lockhart
and
Candace Thompson.
And we are a show that knows a little bit about a lot. We talk about hip-hop, we talk about other people who can't help themselves, and we talk about all sorts of things. Music, TV, gossip, you name it, we do it. Be sure to check out our show live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the ToadHopNetwork.com. And if you miss it, go back and watch it on ToadHopNetwork.com or download the audio from iTunes. Don't be a jerk. Do it. While you're there, leave a comment and rate the show. It's very important, Candace. They have to leave a comment and rate the show. You know why?
Why?
Otherwise, we'll be on the bottom. And we like to be on the top, don't we?
I know I do.
Yeah, girl.
Is that hunk of junk you call a car always breaking down and leaving you in the dust? Log on to Dyson-Motors.com and check out Dyson's full inventory online. With hundreds of quality cars in stock of all makes and models, you can find the next car of your dreams in minutes. And know you're getting super low pricing. Purchase a car today from Dyson Motors and receive a year of free oil changes. Bad credit? Worried about financing? Log on and get pre-approved in seconds. Go to Dyson-Motors.com and find your new car today.
What's up, Toad Hop? This is Paul Preston, host of The Movie Guys. I want to tell you about The Movie Guys Live. It's a radio show full of comedy, commentary, sketches, and more as we poke fun at Hollywood. For example, you ever notice how a lot of movies nowadays have the same music in their previews?
I think I've come up with something.
My brain is skipping time.
I'm not sure I'm following you, man.
Yeah, that was 3 different movies. So check out The Movie Guys live Thursdays at 7, but if you miss us live, we're immediately archived for your pleasure at ToadHopNetwork.com and iTunes. Stop it.
With GameFly, choose from over 6,000 titles. Play as long as you want and send them back when you're done. $8.95 to start, no late fees. Gamefly.com. Games delivered.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
I know what this is from. This is from the upcoming Jack the Giant Slayer. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great.
You said that with a lot of
disdain.
Yeah.
It's from Jack.
Yeah. Choose or Josh. Try again. It's right here. Here. You can
Welcome back to the Schmoes Know podcast as we work things out.
Sorry.
We had to get MacGyver out of Maria's hands.
Yeah.
And that took a while. We had to extend the break. And MacGyver doesn't even realize he's just met Maria Menounos. He's like, whatever.
Yeah, because
you give me a treat.
Johnny Ice is going to be screaming at him later. He's like, where were you 10 years ago, motherfucker?
Every single one of your guy friends is going to be like, can I borrow that dog? Can I take him for walks?
That dog, I'm telling you, that dog is going to end up with more famous than anyone we know. MacGyver's going to.
It's the cutest dog ever. That's why.
All right.
So we're ready to.
Totes adorbs.
So we're gonna, and again, Maria's a great. What a lot of fun that was. That was so much fun, and she's really cool, and she did some. It was a lot of fun that she did with us too, and she had a blast. So we're gonna be taking a call now from Cory Saxton, who's the director of Sushi GIrl, which is what we talked about too, and I'm very curious to get his take on all this too. I'm going to let him. This is him, I believe. Yeah, it is. So, okay. Hey, is this Cory? Cory, what's up, dude? It's Christian.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you? So you are on the air on the Schmoes Know podcast. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Whoa, weird. Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's a great
Cory,
response.
did you happen to hear any of the show the last 20 minutes?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've been busy.
No sweat. No, it's all right. So we had Maria Menounos on here, and then I wanted to get her take on what we're going to talk to you about, because again, like I explained to Schmoeville when I saw your post and how I was really intrigued by it, and I'd love for you to kind of give your take on what you had said, and then just kind of let you have your say about everything you're feeling, because obviously the Sushi GIrl was a passion project, and you put your blood and sweat and tears into it. So I would love to kind of just get your thoughts on everything that you had spoke about on your Facebook page.
Sure. I mean, like in terms of, what specifically the?
Well, it was the Mark Hamill post.
Yeah.
It was just the fact with the media and everything.
Well, I never said it was Mark Hamill, but yeah.
Well, I assumed it was Mark Hamill, unless there was other people doing a movie.
You're right. Yeah, it was definitely Mark. It's just, I don't know, it's been an interesting situation because, obviously Star Wars, and it's a huge thing, Star Wars, and now that J.J. Abrams is making Episode 7, he's becoming, I guess, more well known to the public again. And everyone knows him for being Luke Skywalker, but it's like everyone seems to think that he's just been hiding in a cave for 30 years,
right?
Which isn't true. He's been doing the Joker, he's been doing a lot of stage stuff, and a lot of other voiceover stuff. Shows like Metalocalypse and tons of stuff that a lot of people probably aren't. Or I guess people that aren't, they don't look at credits and stuff, aren't as aware of. But the guy's got a mile-long list of stuff on IMDb, and so he's constantly working. So the idea that he's sort of this kind of has-been is, I think, kind of ludicrous.
They were treating him like Obi-Wan in Episode 4.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just been off in the distance. Not being a hermit. Basically.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But so now that he's come back or that they're talking about, is he going to come play Luke Skywalker? And, there's this volley between him and the media outlets where they'll barrage him with questions, and he's, basically giving them peanuts every now and then. So, I think a lot of it is as he finds out, like when he talks to Lucasfilm or whatever,
right.
And they ask him, or when George has a meeting with him or something. I really don't know what's going on.
Right.
So and I think, I don't know if he knows, to be honest with you. I think he's sort of going along with it as it develops.
Yeah.
But it just seems to be the only thing that people want to know about. And frankly, it's like, hey, that was a 30-year-old property, and that, so it's like, does it really need your strict attention at every minute of the day? You know what I mean? Like, he does other things, and I think it definitely wears on him too when he gets asked nothing but Star Wars questions when he's got a new project to promote or when he wants to talk about something that he's doing.
So
that he's excited about.
At the premiere then, was it more or less like, so everyone, the cast was pretty much getting like the side swipe, and it was all about him and episode 7, and there was no coverage really on Sushi GIrl? It was all about that, or was it just boom, boom, boom?
No, there was a lot of coverage of about other stuff and the other actors and the movie, but it's here's the thing. Here's what happens basically is that like he'll do an interview about Sushi GIrl,
right?
And it'll be a lengthy interview about they'll probably ask some other questions, but it gets printed or put online, and then another outlet will come take the story and just extract the Star Wars thing.
Okay, so and they lose the Sushi GIrl stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not even
and instead of like basically piggybacking, Sushi GIrl gets to piggyback from all those and the benefit from all that. It just goes to the wayside so that they can make their hits and say, "We've got Star Wars news," and I think that's just it happens a lot, and it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, Kern, this is Ken Napzok of the Schmoes Know podcast with you as well. So what I'm hearing is you're not even getting the chance to spin it. Like, for instance, I was at Kamikaze this year where Sushi GIrls had just a giant setup, and you guys had a panel, and it was like Mark Hamill kind of, oh, hey, look, there's Mark Hamill. It's Sushi GIrl. Oh, here it is. You're not even getting that chance because they're just extracting things from these interviews, and that is that the frustration I'm hearing?
Well, I think a lot of the interviewers are interested in talking to him because he played Luke Skywalker.
Sure.
Because it's relevant again now. And, I'm not going to lie in saying that when we cast him, we thought that wouldn't be an issue or that wouldn't be a benefit. Obviously having a guy like Mark in the movie is definitely beneficial for the film, especially because it's such a low-budget movie. But, I don't know, the fact that, like, it keeps being sidelined in mainstream press by the bigger property that he really, I think a lot of his work since then has been to try and sort of escape the shadow of that because it's such a large thing. I'm not saying he hasn't embraced it. I think he really enjoys interacting with fans, and he does enjoy how impactful it's been on their lives. But at the same time, as an artist, you always get to a point where there's fatigue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand that for sure. And, I think that we're hearing you explain that point of it because, again, like if there's the initial article that has the coverage on Sushi GIrl and then it turns into a Star Wars thing, that's okay because you're getting the publicity there and you're like, hey, people are talking about it, that's great. But it's your big thing is that if it's going, oh, well, in that one interview, he also talked about, well, Luke Skywalker's going to have socks on this time around. That's all they fucking took from it. I get that.
Yeah, I get your frustration, Kurt, because you didn't just shoot this movie on a weekend. This was your life for a while, I'm sure. It's a passion project, so absolutely. I feel the frustration there.
All right, well, that point makes a lot more sense, too, because it seems, and I think that's one of the things, too, from what I got from Kern's post, was that seems to be a lot of how these websites are getting news now. They'll kind of pick, like they'll wait by their computer, wait to see who breaks the story, then they'll grab it and then put it on the site, and then hopefully more people will click on it, and that's a frustration as well. Correct, Kern?
Yeah. I mean, I used to do that for one of a lower tier movie news website, and I was basically instructed to see what's hitting and what's trending and basically duplicate it in my own words, and that would help obviously bring in traffic. And I think for a smaller site, despite the fact that I think it's basically plagiarism, I think it's I understand why they wanted to do that, because they wanted to basically build the readership, and then once they got to a point where there was enough page views per day to justify spending a little more money to get insider press coverage and send people out on interviews and things like that to get unique content. I get that, but the fact that I think this has been happening, I've been noticing with larger outlets with the Star Wars thing, and I just I don't really know. Obviously, I get why it's happening, but I feel like there's a certain amount of integrity that's lacking there.
Yeah.
Well, and it's such a double-edged sword because you hope that if people are coming to see Mark, you know, they're fans of Star Wars, but they want to see everything that he's doing. At least, like, as a fan myself, I'm like, okay, I know this actor from whatever they worked on before, and now I'm excited to see them in other stuff. So you hope that, he's getting stuff out to other outlets where it's just a quoted stuff about Star Wars, but they're going to look him up and it's going to come up that it says
and they're
going to
put in that
like
article.
Yeah, that was the hope.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that I guess, you know, that we didn't necessarily think of that I don't think anyone really has addressed has been the fact that, like, people more and more seem to just be complacent and actively searching for the same old thing that they have gotten before, which to me is really boring. But, you know, if that's what people want, well, you know, what are you going to do about it? But at the same time, it's like, it's the same reason why we have sequels and remakes and franchise films, and that's why it's the exact same reason why people keep complaining that that's all we have. But that's the stuff that
people see it
continually makes money.
Right.
You know.
Well, let's get on the positive side here and things too. So tell me, so what's going on with Sushi GIrl? And what are you going to be releasing the DVD, video on demand? How can our fans find it?
Yeah, actually, it just came out on DVD and Blu-ray last Tuesday, and it's apparently selling pretty well. We've been getting a lot of reports that, you know, people go in one day and there's a couple copies, and then they on Blu-ray, and the next day there's nothing left.
That's great. So maybe it's catching
Amazon
on.
was like, there's only 4 copies left, order soon, that kind of thing.
Awesome.
So,
that's great.
So it should be going pretty well. It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon Instant Video, it's on Netflix.
Well, the biggest question is, when is the Schmoes Know going to get a copy?
And we will make Ellis eat sushi while we watch it.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's set that up, man. I'll give you a copy.
I would love that, and you got to come in studio too. I've known Kern for a while. He's a good guy. We actually worked together on a short that he directed, and it was great. So it's always fun to talk to you, Kern. You got to.
Maybe we should play that on the show.
What the actual the short? We did a short based on Entourage called Porntourage.
Of you working your magic.
Of course, it's called Porntourage.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't. I did a nice Teen Wolf bit.
No, you played a high-powered porn agent.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You just forced other people to do things.
More or less. I think there was midgets and Teen Wolf.
Kind of like this show.
That's true. That's what I do. Kern, dude, congratulations on the movie, though, man. I'm actually really excited to see it. I hear great things about it. It looks cool as shit, and you know, I'm a fan of your work, so I'd love to have you in here soon, and it was great talking to you, dude.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let me know.
I will. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Cory Saxton, everybody. Make sure you check it out. Go buy Sushi GIrl, and again, congratulations on everything.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, man. Later on. Look, I get it. From where he's coming from, I get that.
Well, that was my point. Again, Shoesy Pants and I were at Kamikaze back in, what was that, September, Joe, when we were watching the adults play Quidditch. And they had an impressive showing. They had
Don't roll your eyes.
Okay, I would have gladly played if they had asked.
Yeah, of course you would have.
But they had these gorgeous girls, you know, booth babes walking around, and Sushi GIrl was all over the place. But Joe and I, we were just passing around, and all of a sudden Mark Hamill came on stage. We're like, oh, what's this? Luke Skywalker. Oh, it's this movie Sushi GIrl. Oh, here's what's going on.
Right.
But it sounds like Kern doesn't even get that chance with these articles.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I forgot. Because that makes sense. It's like, of course, it's like, because
if
you're
there's no control over it.
Because if you're hearing about it, if you're like, okay, look, everybody's talking about this fucking thing right now. They're going to mention Sushi GIrl and everything. Great. Because that means I'm going to get that. If that's the case, then you don't get pissed off. But then if they're going, oh, they take the 3 sentences out of the thing, don't mention Sushi GIrl at all, don't even say promoting his new movie Sushi GIrl, then I'm pissed off. Then I get it.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it too, I think, comes down to the actors having to talk about it, you know, and even with Maria's project, where it's like, if it's a passion project, that actor is going to go into their interviews and he'll give them a little bit of Star Wars, but it's all about Sushi GIrl, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing, because you're like, okay, it's partially the actor's job to go in and really push the project that they're working on.
They got to promote it. And it's hard, and it's hard to do that when your lead guy tries to do it, and they're asking him, what kind of lightsaber are you going to have next movie? All right, so let's take some calls from Schmoville here and find out what they think about this. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hello, this is Patrick Hogue again.
Who the hell is this? I never heard of it.
Every time I hear that,
I
expect the next line to be, "Do you like Huey Lewis?"
Yeah, he loves Patrick Hogue. You just changed your Twitter handle to Patrick Hogue again. Patrick, what do you got, bud?
I hate to take attention away from Sushi GIrl, and back to Star Wars, but I got 3 actors I wanted to add to your final, your fantasy draft.
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay.
What do you got?
I know you said Tom Hardy you thought could be, the Harrison Ford actor, but I thought a good person instead for that would be Chris Hemsworth. I know.
He could be a roguish Jedi.
No, it's not that he couldn't be great in it.
Sure.
He'd be fantastic. And
I just wouldn't be excited.
He was the only great thing in that Snow White and the Huntsman movie.
He's good looking.
You're full of
I
shit.
wouldn't.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't be excited.
in a geek way, as a woman way, you would be.
We know your type. He's a surfer dude from across the narrow sea. We get it.
No, I'm saying he's an attractive guy. Yeah, awesome. But I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, he's a great get for Star Wars.
No, because the problem is now, then you got Thor, he's Thor's and Huntsman's and all this stuff. And it's just, had he not been in Avengers and stuff too, the guy's great. I mean, the guy's a movie star. Yeah. He's great, and I love the guy. But I just think that
Patrick. Nice.
Sweet.
You got a third one, Patrick? You said.
I have two more. One is Hugo Weaving, which.
Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't do bad. Obviously, again, the Lord of the Rings.
It's the Lord of the Rings Matrix thing that scares me. But again, great actors for sure.
I love Hugo Weaving. Yeah.
And who's your third?
And finally, to quote his famous character that I know you love, "My name is Walter White."
Yeah, Cranston, I'm taking.
You drafted Cranston, didn't you?
I don't think he's.
I did.
Is he on the list?
He drafted.
I think I can be a great Jedi. I would teach people the ways of the Force.
I would.
And give me my meth now,
Jesse. I'd be afraid to run into him now. I ran into him in a bathroom at Room 5 one night at a comedy show, and that was back during the Malcolm in the Middle days. And it was like, hey, the dad. Now I'd be like, I'm back in.
I hear he's one of the nicest dudes ever. So, Patrick, the third one I love. So you redeemed yourself. Thank you for the call, dude.
It's crazy because you hear of actors, where they're so attached to other franchises, and it's just difficult to see them in another big franchise. Yeah. Like if someone said, Elijah Wood, I'm like, no.
Right.
No.
For a franchise. Right. For other films, great actor, but it's hard to see someone like Hugo Weaving in Star Wars for me.
Good discussion points, Patrick.
All right, so, hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Lucas.
Lucas, what's up, dude? So what do you got, man?
Hey, I just wanted to say, as far as that whole Sushi GIrl thing, I really get Curran's point because...
You do or you don't?
I understand,
Wait, Lucas.
I can understand if they, use that stuff and left the Sushi GIrl stuff in it, but the fact that, they're taking that out completely and just focusing on Star Wars, and it's not giving him even, the publicity kind of, through that.
Yeah, it sucks.
I think I totally understand where you're coming from on that.
For sure. Thanks for the call, Lucas. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just after hearing those points, it's hard not to side with the guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
it sucks, but there's nothing you can do.
No,
but
the funny thing is, though,
look at.
The funny thing is, though, if you notice what he said they're selling off the shelf. At Amazon, you can't even. And why do you think that is, though? Too, he's getting a lot of publicity from it, regardless.
Well, and he said that he's like, I won't disregard the fact that when we cast him, we're like, okay,
right, and he's getting some good press on it too. But again, it's I get both sides. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Nate from Boston.
Nate, what's up, dude? What do you got?
Hey, so I'm thinking about passion projects we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking okay, take a guy like Christopher Nolan, who made the first two Dark Knight movies, and I don't know if they were necessarily a passion, but he was obviously passionate enough to make them really good.
Yeah, he just approaches everything he does with passion. So you're going down the Inception road, right?
Yeah. So now I'm thinking okay, so he goes into the third Dark Knight movie. I mean, I'm curious how much passion did he really put into that? Was it something he really wanted to do, or was it all just fans? I mean, he goes to, I don't know if it was all just studio interjection. Now that's really what I'm thinking about.
That's a great point. I mean, thanks for the call. It's a great point because
sometimes you have to do what the studio wants next or the pressure. John Favreau, Iron Man 2, they had to get that out. But I don't think Nolan would have.
He wouldn't have rushed out the.
He wouldn't have rushed.
The difference is that Nolan and his brother would not have signed on to it if they didn't want to do it.
If they didn't want to complete the story.
And I'm sure that, and the thing too, when he originally had the ideas too, Heath Ledger was a part of the third story too in his mind too. So he had to rework stuff and do things. And some people had a lot of problems with the movie, and it's.
But Darth Ellis isn't here.
Darth Ellis is not here, and
well, that's one movie that he did not like.
Yeah, well, he liked it. He just keeps coming up with stupid points. And it's
the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. No, his points are valid. I guess there's a lot of the points that people that make on the internet too that are the same. But whatever. The point with Nolan being passionate about it, I believe that he was passionate. Excuse me. I believe he was passionate about it. That's what he does when he film makes. It's just what he does. But it's just a matter of the story if it hits. And he's got a lot of things on his plate right now. But which leads me into this next subject, by the way, because Man of Steel has been screening, by the way.
Yeah.
They screened one of it, and apparently, what are you shaking your head about?
I'm so excited.
You can't wait?
I can't wait. I heard that they loved it.
Oh my gosh!
Joe Blow reported that there was a lot of people that had seen it, and they're going crazy. And some people are saying that some people are going to put it on their best of the year. So I mean, look,
cannot wait.
So excited.
Look,
I'm so pumped
because if they nail it, like we've needed a good Superman movie.
Yes.
Well, since the first one, you know. And my God, if they knock this one out of the park, thank God.
I think they're going to. Apparently, there's a lot of. Have you heard anything about what they?
I haven't heard anything yet.
So what they said is that there's a lot of cool. No, you want to hear this?
Okay.
There's a lot of cool shots.
Cover your ears like Katie.
Yeah. There's a
It
lot.
doesn't do anything with headphones on.
There's a lot of cool shots of Superman kicking ass.
Yes.
And apparently his cape is CGI, but it doesn't. It's cool because they can do a lot of stuff with it, and it's not noticeable. So.
And Henry Cavill.
Is it Cavill or Cavill?
I think it's Cavill.
Cavill? Nobody knows.
Whatever.
Now on, it's Superman.
Yeah, seriously. Like, probably one of the best castings. Like,
it's pretty good.
So excited.
But not better than Brandon Routh.
That one doesn't exist, okay? That one does not exist. I mean...
I was going to say, tell them about the... It's Chris Nolan's story with Snyder effects in action, is what they say.
Which sounds...
It sounds like all those sounds like a kind
of perfect dream to me.
Yeah, I mean, as long I guess that's perfect because as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, my biggest problem is never his style; it's always story. But if you get Nolan's story, it's a good point. Yeah. All right, let's take a call from Schmoeville here. Hey, you are in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Jake from Vegas again.
Jake, what's up, Jake? What do you got?
Hey, all right, so I don't know, this might be bad taste, whatever, but I thought since we're kind of on that whole people bleeding in Star Wars, with Han Solo and Luke and so forth. Have you heard the story about Carrie Fisher checking into due to her bipolar disorder?
No. I did hear there was something. It's tough to believe what's on the internet, but I did hear that story. So yeah,
shit, Josh McCougan might be shit out of luck.
It might sound bad for someone's polls there. Maybe who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a little thing. They'll work it through. Maybe she'll have a small part. It's
like literally if you want to talk about fantasy drafts, it's like here one of your draft picks is going into
Albert Pujols, he pulled his hamstring. I just drafted him.
No, it's a good tip, dude. Thank you very much. Vegas with the big tips.
Player.
Let's take another.
I don't know anything about that.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
They score touchdowns.
Oh, hey, this is Jared Shaw. I wanted to talk about the Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, what do you got?
Yes.
You sound excited.
Yeah, I was pretty excited for that too. I was like, oh my God. You can tell. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, thank you very much for the call, dude. I think that the excitement for this movie, it's got to be between that and Iron Man 3 right now.
And Star Trek.
I feel like I'm more excited about Man of Steel.
It's starting to get there, but it's funny how that happened.
It was about Dark Knight when it first came out. Where I was like, okay, this is, they're really going to take it in another direction. I just remember seeing the trailer when he flies and it's like the sonic boom and you're like, oh!
The best part about that trailer is emotion.
Yeah.
You're emotionally attached to that trailer. When you see it, you just feel, okay, good, this is a movie I want to watch. It's not going to be about the effects. And it looks cool. He's breaking the sound barrier and everything. That's awesome. But that's not it. It's what Kevin Costner's saying to him. It's what Russell Crowe's saying to him. What his mom's saying to him.
This is going to be the best Costner film since For Love of the Game.
Well, and I'm a huge Smallville fan. So from watching Smallville, having a long break and being like, okay, I want something that I'm gonna connect to as much as that story and love the character and get his struggle. And I'm just so excited.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, before we got to wrap up the show.
I know it sucks. We can go for
we had a great show, and we want to thank Maria Menounos for coming on, Hal Rudnick for coming on. But I also want to, Joe Ruggiero, your moment in the sun, quickly. Sweet. How did it feel to be called creepy by Maria Menounos?
It's the highlight of my year.
Absolutely.
If we can get that recorded so I can make it my ringtone, that would be great.
What I would love is attach for Schmoeville right now. If you're listening, even if you're listening on a record, on a pre-record, just. Make sure you tweet in right now. I want all of Schmoeville just to tweet Shoesy Pants and write, "You're a creep."
Thank you. I love you.
He's going to go after the show's over and go drink all the Imperial beer in the fridge.
And delete my Twitter.
Before we get out here,
my Twitter account.
All right, follow Tiffany at Tiffany's Tweets, at Schmoes Know, at Cospan, at Schmoes Intern, at Shoesy Pants, at Riley Around, at Josh McCouga, and at Toad Hop Network. Now, guys, make sure, again, you check out our YouTube page. We have a lot of reviews coming out. Check out Schmoe Plus. If you have not listened to Schmoe Plus, make sure you check out Schmoe Plus.
So it begins.
And so it begins. A lot of tweets for Shoesy Pants here.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Again, guys, check out it on iTunes. All that stuff too, and just keep commenting. You guys are doing so great.
Tweet a celebrity.
Tweet a celebrity. Tweet the Rock.
Let's
We got to get all
And
these guys on
Henry
here.
Winkler, both of them.
So much fun. And next week, Kenny, who we got? Anybody yet?
We're going to do a South by Southwest show. Got a lot of filmmakers from South by Southwest calling in the first hour and have some fun in the second hour.
Oh, and a big announcement too for those of you only podcast listeners for Box Office Sunday. Mark and I won't be there. Shoesy Pants and Josh the Intern will be doing Box Office Sunday. So that's only for Schmoes Know listeners. The rest of you guys are going to be like, what the hell is this? All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you later, Mother Fs.